have a new talking stage. I really enjoy his company. But the only problem I have is whenever we text, reading his text gives me an headache because of his grammar.
And headache.
Because of the grammar. Can you see why you're having a headache?
And headache.
Yeah. You can see why you're having an headache.
And headache. Are you into big boom?
Keep telling people you have anxiety issues. It's a lie. You are just wicked and mad.
Look, you've done BBL and we're all happy for you. Carry your new bum and go outside.
This is the podcast for you.
I'm not poor. Are you sure? It's because they are vaping. Now everybody's marrying on time.
At your big age.
Wait now. Do you know that I don't have clean pants to wear tomorrow?
I said what I said. The Unsolicited Opinions podcast starts now.
Please, this is a public place. Hello, boys and girls. Happy New Year.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We're back. I mean, who knew we were coming back? But here we are yet again, yapping away.
Happy 2026 or whatever.
Any kind of 2026 you want to have, do surely
feel
have
free.
it. Happy Val.
Pre-Val.
Yes, if you don't have Val, my dear, what can we say? Unfortunately, the karaoke has sold that, so you also can. You don't even have Val, you don't have karaoke.
Oh.
Everything. I don't know how you do it.
Shame.
But welcome back.
What did we get up to?
We were yapping. We were just catching up on what's been going on since you people left. I know you guys thought this episode would be 4 hours. Unfortunately, we have things doing. We do. I know we don't appear to have things doing, but from time to time we do occasionally have what we're doing. Yeah, we're just catching up. We did some dilemmas. You guys are more knocked than ever before. I can't believe that in this new year, nobody has decided to change or be better.
The knocked ones are very knocked. The serious ones are very serious.
And there's a lot more serious. There was one person asking about the development of the nation. I said, look, I think you're at the wrong place.
Number, babe.
But yeah, it's lovely to be back.
Yes. We had a great time. We spoke about all sorts of things. We spoke about prenups.
We did.
We spoke about
Whimsy. We spoke about just having like different experiences for the sake of them and not really for anything, and why, because this country is frustrated.
Yeah.
We can't have
those types of things.
We don't have nice things.
We spoke about confronting a parent over infidelity. We spoke about some crazy
spoke about
things.
dating your friend's
ex. Yeah.
Just many
a great
things,
time.
Honestly, lovely.
In our beautiful Desiree Amagams. If you listen on like audio, go and look at video.
Please go and look at video. We look stupendous. I'm actually not changing out of this dress for the rest of the day. Like I have a lunch and I'm just like, it's a lunch meeting, and I'm just gonna show up there. They'll be in their shirts.
Why
and
not?
This is how I'm coming, so that they can know that I'm familiar with wealth.
We also let you guys know that we're going to be having a paywall coming very soon.
We're gonna have a little private inside community, for people that are really, really there, where we can be even more unhinged than normal.
So we're looking forward to all of that.
It's gonna be a great season.
Enjoy!
Bye. Hello, boys and girls.
Hello, all.
Happy New Year to you.
To all and sundry. Happy New Year.
Starting now. That is your business. Okay? I've been accosted in the streets. I have been hounded. I was doing my hair. I don't want babes say sorry to say you, but this is what you people are doing instead of recording. I said, excuse me, ma. Would you prefer that I come on this platform looking raggedy?
The only thing that made me laugh was last week. A friend of mine who's like grieving actually sent me a message. She was like, so how far? Like, mind you, I know that she has been crying probably every day, but she was like, this is a bit, it's a bit long. And I just laughed. I was like, we're coming back next week. She was like,
No, speaking of giving, I went to my friend's grandpa's funeral, and at the funeral reception, I was sitting next to a couple that I know very well. And she was not saying that very good, I am here. And she was showing her husband that on Wednesday, two of them were checking that. I don't get. She was not saying we had to be listening to Case Files, another podcast. And what is really going on? So it's just so funny because I'm like, but I know all of you guys. Yeah. Is everybody quiet? People that I see all the time are like, I don't I don't get what I'm like, yeah, am I not with you?
Yep. Yes, I went to dinner with a friend.
I'm like, am I not with you here?
I went to dinner with a friend and we were having what I thought was a lovely conversation, a lovely chat. I thought she wanted to see me while rounding up. She says, so, when's the podcast coming back? I said, babe, we literally just finished having a 2-hour conversation.
Right. There's nothing we're discussing here that is. And she's just like, yeah, but it's a bit different. I'm like, all the catching up that you want to hear on the pod, we've done it here now.
Yes, they don't care. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's just quite interesting. Anyway, appreciate you people or whatever.
Yeah, I've missed this a little.
I have, just a little though, not like that much. It was a needed break. As she was saying case files, I said in case files, haven't they gone on break as well? Can you people, why don't I see you wanting to beat them? Anyway, but lovely stuff. Also, we come back on this Valentine's week every year. I just don't understand.
We've been doing this for like 4 years. I don't
understand what the issue
I don't get why people are so hot and bothered.
Anyway, we've also missed you. Welcome back. Lovely to see.
Lovely to see everybody.
I had a brief glance at the dilemma sheet. I see that none of you have changed for
They've even gotten worse, actually.
2026, it's giving more knocked.
They've gotten so much worse.
Nothing concerning you guys with New Year,
No. New Year was them.
Did you do resolutions?
No.
Well, fair enough.
No, I don't have I had the to-do list that I carried over from last year. I think it is important to finish what you start.
Yeah, I also saw that I planned for last year, and what the year showed me, I decided it's better to not plan and let everything be a surprise. Let me surprise the year. The year can also surprise me, because in terms of planning,
a lot of stuff was just finishing what I thought and then being a bit more of an adult. I don't know how to explain it. So it was stuff like I went to, there's a specific sort of like doctor's appointment I'd been putting off for a long time. I went and started, what else? I know my dentist is looking at me with one eye, I'm coming. Dr. Joe.
Yeah, let me know. I also messaged Dr. Joe and he's been like, okay, so since you messaged me that day, I collected his number from you.
Yeah.
He was like, what was your plan? And I told him specifically, I wanted to do this appointment before I start the podcast so that my teeth will be. And he was like, I don't understand your plan.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Dr. Joe, the services are not free. You know what I mean? So, and if you look at it, hair versus teeth, it's just important to have priorities. You can't see my teeth from outside.
Yeah, so we did. So it's that kind of stuff. And then it wasn't resolutions per se. It's just, this is stuff I need to get done. Because I feel like resolutions are a bit more, I don't know how to explain it. They're more wishful.
They're very lofty.
They're quite lofty. I have a practical to-do list. And I think it makes me feel more at ease. Nothing feels like you're starting a grand project, which isn't great if you're a dreamer. If you're someone that likes to feel like you're in the middle of an adventure all the time, like me, it doesn't feel exciting, but it's just, I just feel like, you're an adult. I have 1 or 2 lofty ideas, but I don't feel under pressure to make them happen in the same way. I don't know, maybe I'm just a bit jaded.
I'm very jaded, but I've also decided to deeply romanticize because it's just so, honestly, the 2 minutes that I used to reflect on the previous year, and it was exactly 2 minutes, because after that, one can actually run mad. I was like, that was just a horrible, I don't even understand what happened last year. Horrible. And so I was like, actually, it's going to be quite lofty, because the practical one I did, it did not work. So now I've also started this thing where I've started operating life in 1 week blocks.
How do you mean?
What I mean is that everything on my to-do list is for this week.
Oh, yeah, yes, now.
So before I realized that I would plan for okay, this project, and maybe it's for March or April. Obviously, I know that it's not going to happen now. Let's say we're saying, okay, we have a summer tour. We know that we're not, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm what I need to do, that's good and fine. Whatever needs to happen in April. But what is the only thing I'm considering now is what I need to do this week. That's all. And I find that it's a lot more manageable, because what it now means is that, so if I don't get it done today, there's still Sunday. there's still Saturday. And it has just helped me be. And what it also does is it makes me a bit more realistic in that I cannot do 255 things this week.
This week, yeah.
I can actually accomplish about 6 things is what I've clocked. And so when I finish accomplishing the 6 things, I can now add one. But when I used to have a to-do list of 2 million things, you now be feeling bad. Now my to-do list has precisely 6 things on it.
So that makes sense.
Done this week. And they can actually be done. And when I finish, I can now say, okay, what do I want to do one thing? And this is everything from like serious activities to just lofty, random, side quests that one wants to do. But I'm finding it to be more interesting because otherwise the time just goes.
It does.
Yeah, just kind of like.
Yeah, I think the version of that I have is I broke down all the big projects or ideas this year into quarterly blocks, and then I broke that into monthly blocks, and then everything is per week.
Yeah.
So if I'm like, I need to get X type of visa this week, this is what I have to do next week. If I want to get it by April.
Yeah, which visa are you getting?
You do know we can't stroll into America.
Okay, it's true. Sure.
You are aware.
Before we're applying online.
Yeah. No, you can't do that. Not for a work visa.
Sure. I've never applied for a visa.
First time.
In my whole life.
Yeah.
Every time people are like, I'm just like, my dear, I'm British. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I've never. I've
done all the like Esther.
I've been to the embassy for all these coffee events. They always have.
I did that at an embassy earlier this year.
Aren't they so interesting?
It was very odd.
It's very bizarre.
I went to one in the consulate. I went to a consulate and I found it very jarring how Nigerian security treat Nigerians at the gate of any consulate, embassy. I think it was particularly jarring for me because I had never done it before. So I get there and the attitude was so confusing. And I think the security man there so what happened was I'm getting out of my car and I just told my driver, like, figure out where to park. Because a lot of the embassies are on Walter Carrington.
And you can't park on the road.
So I said, please go and figure out where to park. I gave him money for parking. This is literally less than 20-second interaction. Car has stopped. Security man runs up. You don't do that here. And so, because my back I had opened the door, but my back was to the door. So I was facing the driver. So I turned and I literally looked at him. And I think he was waiting for me to scramble. So I'm just staring at him. And so he backs off. So I get there. And again, it was simple stuff. Like I said, I'm here to see X. I was invited to see this person. Again, I got an email and a phone call out of the blue. I didn't lobby. I don't have anything I'm looking for. Even in said country, they asked me to come and see them. So I got there. It was so jarring to me, the difference between how the security treats you and then how you are treated when you get inside.
Yeah.
It was such a disgusting... Anyway, I was already irritated, right? They're like, you can't carry phone. You can't do this. Lock it in the locker. I'm like, okay. Yeah, sure you came. Let's see your paper for the... At one point I told him that I will leave. Okay. And just send them an email back being like, I tried to get in and I don't know what's going on at your gate. So I said, no, it's not that, it's security purpose. I said, sure. Anyway, I had the meeting, which was lovely. I came out and there's like a pregnant woman with a toddler, right? And she is standing at the security gate. And the way this guy is backing at her, what'd you come here for? She has a toddler.
Yeah.
She's carrying a baby. She looks tired. She looks a little flustered and she's explaining what's the kidney for. And basically, I then stood there. Mind you, I told my driver to come. The guy came I told him to go around again. So I stood there. And I'm like, madam, are you okay? And she said, yeah, she has a visa appointment. The guy said, there's different the reason. And she says family reconciliation. I said, also, your husband lives abroad. And she said, yes, ma. And we want to visit. I said, you're not going to live with him. You could see that the guy is getting...
He's irritated that you are even having a full interview.
Irritated. I don't know. She just said, no, they just want to visit. That unfortunately, he didn't have... he couldn't get the time off to come. So, and now the baby is old enough to travel. So they want to go and visit and they'll come back. You can see the man boiling. And I'm like, so you have your I guess there's a paper they give you that shows that she said yes. I said, what time is your appointment? Are you late? She said no, that she's like 3 hours early, but she was too panicked to be afraid. I was like, oh, good luck. I'm sure you'll be fine. You could see, do you know what made it crazy? She was the only one there.
Yeah, so
all his attitude, all his gra was for nothing. She was literally the only one there. And I said, oh, guys, is she allowed to go inside? Or should she go somewhere to eat with her children? Because you can see she has small children. You can see she has small children. And I just couldn't understand why you have a position of power, you get a little lofty, but then your first instinct is to use it as a tool to punish. Fikem, I don't know, this woman looked, if you've ever taken care of a toddler and a baby, she looked harassed. Yeah. Clearly didn't have a car. So just the struggle of figuring out. And I was just thinking, why are you being cruel to her? Because they put you... I wanted to ask him, okay, have you ever entered the office before? Have you entered this thing?
Can you get the visa?
Have you... No, forget the visa. Have you entered... Do you know the process of this thing she's coming here to do? Why are you shouting more than the bereaved?
Yeah,
it was
very... I don't know.
And it wasn't just them. So now, obviously, because I had such a bad experience, when we were going, I was not looking at the other embers, see the lack of dignity, the way they'll just squeeze us, press us, push us. And you can see, talking with such aggression, you just see security men. Hey! You can see
once your car starts slowing down, there's always some person, and I'm like, my dear, I'm looking at the number. Do you want me to enter a different land?
It was very, I think that seeing how like they treat Nigerians like we are not owed any sort of dignity. And it's Nigerians treating other Nigerians. It really bothered me. I was telling when I go home, I kept saying it to my mom. And she was like, like she was not amused, but she found it so interesting how, because stuff like this always bothers me. Because it costs nothing to say, good morning, ma, please put your...
Like you're just doing your job and you don't have to do it with all this gra-gra.
Mind you, the people that you're acting like, you're entering heaven to meet are polite.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I'm not asking you to be kind. You just act like Nigerians don't deserve any sort of politeness.
Like,
they don't deserve any kindness. It was a very jarring experience.
Yeah. And it's everybody that it's literally small authority.
Girl.
You see, it's like at the airport, just small. You can't enter here. Are you the passenger? Please. I just came to the airport with 3 suitcases to play football.
Or you're trying to drop someone off.
Like, please.
They ruin, that thing
everything.
So many people are trying to jackpot or travel or live. And I've noticed that Nigerian authority make what should ordinarily be so like you're touching last few moments with your family, the most egregious, awful, rubbish experience. I saw obviously going to school, or maybe he had been here and his mom is with him. So he's like, Alaja, please. It was so funny. He was actually like, Alaja, please, I don't need. She said, no, you need the food. So she had obviously packed, maybe smoked this, all these food things. And he's just like, mommy, please. So he was shuffling between mommy and Alaja. So depending on how frustrated he is, she now said, no, that before you come again, just let this one hold. She's fussing over her son. Security man, who is traveling? Who is it traveling? Madam, you can't enter. And I'm just thinking, so obviously we know she's going to enter. It's now for her to beg or bribe. And I'm like, okay,
what are
this
you
woman is dropping her child off.
Truth. Have you guys have seen Love Actually? You cannot do that thing in Murtala Mohabit. In Love Actually, in the beginning, it has that scene about, in the beginning, Hugh Grant is like talking. I've seen Love Actually about 250 times.
Yeah.
In the beginning, Hugh Grant is talking about like where you see that the airports are a great place to
100%.
observe people and see love, and you see people hugging, themselves in the arrival car. Have you ever been to? No. Have you seen MMA arrivals? Is it when you're telling your driver, come down? I'm here that you want to be hugging.
If you see me by the pole, you see me by the pole.
Or is it when they're doing taxi ma? Change.
Go on the change.
Do you need change?
Dollar.
Is that where you want to? Is that where you want to hug?
Bad luck.
Is that where you want to? Oh, I'm sorry. All of a sudden, there's a new. We're collecting money for the army. I said, excuse me.
In Nigeria?
Yes. When last time I went to the airport, there was a lady. She said she collected money for the army veterans. I said, excuse me. I said, if you can just please allow me.
No, they
to
make
move.
that
Bro,
such a terrible
and I just
process.
kept thinking, you cannot do this airport love. You can't do it here. It cannot actually work. First of all, they cannot even let you in to hug the person inside arrivals.
It's so bad.
You will be crushed. Secondly, when you're even entering onto Bible, are you the passenger? On the passengers, I'm just like, please. I paid for this thing. This is not a free service that you people are offering.
They make
me.
it such an awful
everything
experience.
is irritating. Everything. And this is why I don't have NYC certificates.
Yeah.
Ultimately, when you look at the issues, this is actually why, because that day they said me I should kneel down. And I just thought,
they make it such an awful experience. And then you see elderly people saying, oh, please, I just want to say bye-bye to my son, or my daughter is traveling, or my husband. And, they're kind of making... And it's...
Or like, if...
what is the reason for this cruelty?
Have things where, like, we don't have things that are sensible. You weigh your bag in one place.
Then you drag it.
They'll give you one paper. And then people that, like, obviously they have more than one suitcase. They're just trying to move the suitcase. You're not helping them. Then you're shouting. You're saying, this one. And I'm just like, is it not the inefficiency of this stupid place? Because when I go to other airports, I weigh it on the belts. Not in this corner here where you give me a paper to hand. I'm like, is the scale on this thing not working? Do you guys have any? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Just different
small things that just make people feel, and then they make people feel small. And then, you embarrass someone who is as dysregulated as you. So that person starts shouting. So, us that were even speaking English. So sometimes you just recognize that, this is a power trip and you manage it. But there's a way you talk to someone who just doesn't have, and that person too now shouts. Now they've held up the line. They're screaming. People are now saying, madam, calm down. The person that you're traveling with is saying, mommy, please. And that person saying, do you know who I am? I will arrest. I will shut this place down.
And then in the meantime, any small thing, happy weekend, anything for us, I'm like, you're actually meant to check me in, if you don't mind. Or you're supposed to be checking my bag for counterfeit goods. By the time you finish using it to ask me for money, if I'm carrying drugs, can you see it? You can't now, because so I'm just like, please, especially, when you're passing and they're like, any currency, will you leave some? I'm like, if I even hid the money here, you with your as a greedy goat, can you know?
Yeah.
So everything is just...
I just think that indignity.
That's why we don't have good experiences. Look, I keep saying this thing. Nothing concerns the love you have that you can chase somebody to the airport. It cannot work. No. Your love cannot work if it depends on you trying to stop somebody from flying in MM2. It's not possible.
No, but before we get there, first of all, this country is too poor for me to have bought ticket, and because you say you love me, I'll not go.
You now run. You now fly over the gate.
I'll tell you, I'll come back. But I've spent how much on even Abuja.
What are you talking? That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about international flights. I'm talking about, when you're chasing someone for love in that local flight. Before the skirt, my friend, will you move back? Are you traveling? Are you the passenger? Are you the passenger?
Let me see your passport.
Are you the passenger?
Let me see your ticket.
Man, you cannot go.
You cannot go. No, but Nigeria is too poor. Nigerians are too cynical for that to be.
So you now be explaining that, no, he's the love of my life. I did.
You cannot go. Even if you tell the security and he allows you inside, the person that you're trying to stop will say, the truth is that my mother actually said you are an enemy of progress. Because I've spent this money on this ticket, Baba, I must go.
Look, there's some things that people don't consider about movies.
Nigeria.
This flight thing. So when you now stop me, did you get off the plane? I'll now get off the plane. As how?
They'll carry my load.
No, as how? That's what I always wonder. When they get off that plane for the love, the luggage that they've put in the luggage compartment, who removes it? No, these are important questions, because I've never seen in the movie where someone is like, sorry, before we go home, can we wait for my luggage? They never do that. They're always kissing. Next thing, they've gone. Okay, where is those 2 suitcases that you checked in? Now it's in France. So how do you want to do it?
No, I can never.
Now all your pants is in France. So I
can never.
These are some of the key things. And I always wonder that all these things, you could not think about it before I left for the airport. You didn't know you love me.
You didn't know. Now, Big Mommy has put anointing oil on my head. I have to go. to go now. My whole family has prayed for me. I'll now come back and I said, Mommy, he said sorry.
They've given me stew to give my cousin. First of all.
To go.
My friend has actually asked me to pack suya. So now that I've packed suya that is frozen,
I've called my landlord a bastard. I said I'm not coming back.
I've traveled. Now, your plan, I've bought clothes that I'm going to wear
I bought jacket
abroad. You now said because of the love, Actually, why didn't you phone me?
Bro,
Why
what's
didn't
up?
you call? Chike, why didn't you call me on WhatsApp? Like, hey, how far? I always wonder about this thing, especially the luggage. And this is my problem with movies. They don't always complete issues.
Yeah, they don't see it through.
They never see it through. So I'm just, these are the challenges. But that's one of the things that I want to
How
take
was your
off
holiday?
in my life, running to the airport.
How was your holiday?
It was lovely. What did I do? Well, when we took a break, it was like 2 minutes to Christmas. And then on this Christmas day, wow, I've never seen that many people in my house before.
Really? I came and left. So.
You came for 2 days. I was too shocked, actually. Jola, at 1 o'clock, people were still coming. I was hearing, I heard you guys have food.
But didn't you have food?
No, but we did. But I was just like, is everybody here? I mean, friends are not as if they're strangers, but people that that have never normally come on Christmas Day. Everyone's Christmas finished and they ended up in that house. Mind you, I had a flight in the morning. I went upstairs. That I was like, you know what, I'm done. I left everybody there at 3 to go and start packing to go to the airport in the morning. And as I came downstairs from my
people
packing,
were still there.
People were still in my house. This was at 6 something. I just thought, guys, this is not really.
I had a lovely Christmas because my own Christmas at home with my family finished at like 3. And then I stopped by at Fakemi's house for Abudu family Christmas. It was so cute because your grandma was like, she was looking at me a little confused. I think she wanted to ask me, do I need money? Like, why do I look like this?
She actually asked me and I was like, she's traveling.
I was like, oh, grandma, I'm traveling. She was like, okay. She was like, okay, because I looked a bit raggedy. She was like, okay. It was so funny because I could see her thinking, Jola doesn't normally, she tries now. What's going on? And it was so cute because your whole family was like, oh, you're going now, won't you eat? I was like, no, I've eaten. And then I went from there to Fakewa's house. And then I went Fakewa for Larry's house. And then I went to the airport and had the time of my life in Cape Town. Mate.
We did observe.
No, you didn't see it. You saw snippets. I had a blast. Some people will try and be modest and say, oh, it was all right. No, it wasn't all right. Wow. Mojayo Rimi, man. I had a time. I had a blast. I don't know how to explain.
It looked really,
the degree to
really
which
fun.
I enjoyed myself. I love that place so much. People are always asking me, hey, did I give you passport? Are you going there again? Yes. You go to your grandma's house in Okwebi all the time to enjoy yourself. I don't abuse you. I don't say, there's nothing in grandma's house. So leave all of us to where we want to go to.
Super, super, super fun.
It was great.
And it was funny because as like December kept going, more and more people I know were like, let's go. People started just going. And one of my group chat, they were like, guys, should we go to Cape Town? I said, this is the 28th.
It would have been lit.
I was already, I went to London. I went to my house. I was just like, I actually just need and it was freezing cold, but I really enjoyed it because first of all, I had to buy winter gowns. That was a lot of fun. I bought like a red fur jacket. I'm not joking. It's completely ridiculous. It's red. It's bright red. And it's full of fur.
I no longer have winter clothes.
I walked into a restaurant
I'm so sad.
and the woman was like, are you a celebrity?
You should have said yes.
I was like, please, madam, this coat is not real.
I would have 100% said yes.
I said this from a source, my sister, don't worry.
I would have 100%
so I was like, they're doing winter sale. I just thought, how can I be more obnoxious than I am
But
now?
it's fun.
Big red fur.
I love that.
Honestly, I really enjoyed it.
I love that.
Myself. And everyone was like, oh, but London is cold in the winter. And I keep saying this thing. If you are bored in London, it's you that has problem.
No, it's not the boredom.
No,
it's having to come out
my dear,
when it's cold.
It's all about the vibes.
No, I'm not a winter person at all.
I bloody loved it.
I hate that shit.
Let me know, like, I had a brilliant time. I went to Winter Wonderland, had the time of my life. That place is a serious scam anyway.
Oh yeah. The older you get, the more you're just like, what the fuck is this?
No, I actually had fun. What you realize is they're selling donuts for £12.
Oh, you didn't know?
I didn't know that everything there costs times 10 of everything that as in outside of it. I couldn't believe the money that was being spent in that place. And they just deceive you. Oh my God, you guys, there was one game that basically they had these towers of things. Like they'll put maybe like an iPhone and then underneath it, they'll put like headphones and they'll stack them. And you had these big rings and you had to throw them. And if it lands like on the stack, then you win everything inside. Very good. And it was 3 like throws for £5 or something. And maybe, so I was like, okay, let's go for 6 throws. I must win. There was a laptop there. And at the time, I hadn't bought my laptop. I said, you know what? I'm going to win this laptop. And everything is going to be fine. So they stacked the laptop in the middle. The laptop was there. There was a phone on top. I said, I'm going for gold. If you know what I want, you'll be so annoyed. So I was throwing my ring, the first one, second one, third one. There was a lot of wind. So I didn't get it. One lady next to me, she won the Beat Pill speakers.
Okay.
So everybody was shouting very good. I said, no problem. It's my turn. My own now landed on a box of celebrations.
Is it not a gift? Is it not a gift? You don't like chocolate?
And gloves. As in, all those gloves that the hand is cut out.
You know, I find those things so... You know, I really don't like those
I
gloves.
said, congratulations. I said, like Azal.
I really dislike those gloves.
No, because what's the essence?
The fingerless gloves.
The fact is that I'm still cold. So I
don't like
said,
them
is it
at
this
all.
£2 cheap black gloves and these celebrations? That was I won. In fact, I even thought there was Maltesers under. He said, no, it's just the box. I said, what do you mean it's just box? He said, well, they just use the box to stand the
prop
thing.
up the
That's
thing.
just the celebrations and the gloves. I said, I don't... Okay, but it's next to the laptop.
So you should give you the laptop that
God
you didn't
bless
win.
you. I was like, but the ring kind of touched the laptop if you look at it carefully. But that's how they scam you. There were so many games that I was just like, actually, if I decide to focus on this thing, I'm going to lose all my money.
Oh, yeah.
But it was really fun. I really had a great time. I went to the circus.
Really?
Yes, I went to the circus and I just realized we don't have just things,
Experiences.
that cause you to be like, there's no real point to going to a circus.
Oh, 100%.
There's no point. There is nothing that explains to you why somebody should be contorting in the air with a rope that's on fire or like some animal. There's no reason for that. There was one lady.
It's just whimsy.
There was one girl, that one man was throwing knives at her. She'll now be dancing, the knives will now be moving. I said, imagine trusting a man with your life in this manner.
No
What
way.
rubbish is this?
No way.
I don't care if they say he's a professional, he's a wanting. At one point, they now put the knives on fire. They will now throw it. I said, if they try this in Nigeria, that's the day you and your partner will know that you fought. Bro, but it was just so fascinating. And I kept thinking that imagine your career being the lady that like dances with the knives. That's actually just your specialty. And you can go around, all these Cirque du. It was not Cirque du Soleil, it was Cirque du something, one of these smaller ones. Cirque du something. And there was one ball that like 5 motorcycles were in and they were riding and they were not crashing into themselves. And all these random things. And I just kept thinking, how do you get into this career path? Like, how do I become a circus act?
Are you not already a clown?
That's what I was about to say. That apart from the cut gesture that I am in life.
Are you not already a clown?
Well, you see, these ones are monetizing their foolishness. Also, we're just playing for no reason. There are many people that ought to be in the circus.
Bruh.
Many people that can count as animals. Inside.
Wild
animals. When they bring out all those lions, all those elephants in the circus that doesn't eat. There are many people I know that can do that work.
Yes, Femi, you should be there.
I'm telling you.
And the Femi I'm talking to, he knows himself.
No, wild animal. So these are just the things. And I just thought we just don't have like light things that are just for the sake of
and
it.
help with whimsy and you have a good time.
We just don't have it. Honestly, Winter Wonderland is a money grab, but it's actually just a lot of fun. You go there, there's games, there's rides, there's all sorts of bloody things.
Like all those like circuses, fairs.
Bro, I paid £15 to see some ice sculptures. I couldn't believe the nonsense that was happening there. But again, it's because they have lights.
Yeah.
If they don't have lights, can they put you in a mass freezer?
Yeah, it's just it's things that add to your human experience.
Yeah, they're just fun. I went with my friends and it was just a bit of fun. We were complaining it was so cold, it was so this, but like we went and we were all there and we even bought the stupid pictures that they sold to us for £15 and now we have it and we left and it was just, I don't know, they're just things that
It reminds me of the first time I went to an aquarium with a friend of mine a couple of years ago. And those pictures that they make you take. So I wanted it. So we took the picture. And after we took the picture, we then realized like that the way we posed and the way we both had dressed up, we looked like a blind person and their guide. It was so funny. Because, you know, normal Nigerian job bond, they tell you to stand there. You want to stand the way you want to stand. So now you're not like off center. But I remember walking through the aquarium and just thinking, this is really nice.
Yeah.
This is fun.
I don't know.
Even when there's a friend of mine that's super creative, and I was asking her questions, and I realized that a lot of stuff came from what I think of as just enrichment. Yeah. So she went to lots and lots. Her parents really liked, her mom in particular, liked taking her to like galleries. Because it's free stuff when she was in England till I think she was about 9 or 10. So she went to lots. Her mom was just like, every weekend was free.
Let's go and do it.
Because Yakuma, a kid, bus is free. So her mom just had to worry about her own movements and what they would eat. But they went to lots and lots of art things, lots and lots of galleries and experiences. And so she grew up, I think, with taste. Because her sister is similar but different. Yeah. And they have there's an enrichment that comes with being allowed whimsy that we don't really have. So things that people think, this one is waste of time. I saw a video that a woman made, and it's so interesting when people will go back and forth over. What was she saying? She said, look, I know we came to, a lot of people who move abroad, you came here to hustle, you came because you want a better life, you came because you want a stronger passport. But please, the only time you take your children out can't be church or to run errands. She was basically saying that as a parent, part of your job is making, when you say you came for a better life, it's not just finances. You want your children to be better than you. You want them to be more creative, to be more thoughtful, to understand what other opportunities they have. So for instance, one of the things that we were talking about is how we didn't know certain jobs existed because you weren't exposed to that. So in university, when you're thinking of what to study, you think of, I want to study law to do this. It doesn't occur to you that I can study actuarial sciences and use it to do X. Or if I study, people will study biomedical sciences because they couldn't get into medicine. And then it's many years later you find out that, people who made certain types of body care products, so
they actually did that.
So it's that thing of knowledge of, and she was just saying, look, people will say everything's expensive, but these countries we move to, we pay high taxes because they subsidize so many things for children
things for you to
and teenagers. So she was like, take your children to, I'm not just saying cinema, because people say, that one is money. I have 4 children, 15 pounds per child. She was like, take them to cinema, take them to galleries. Do your children have a library card? Because there are lots of free things that happen in libraries. Do you know that your children can join like community choirs? They can go and swim for free. They can go and join a hockey team. I think she was in Canada. She was like, there are just so many things that... Do you know what shocks me the most? Was people parents arguing.
I want
that she doesn't understand. And I could see that she didn't want to seem unfeeling and I just thought fundamentally a lot of people felt this thing was a waste of time. So she then turned it into like a series and she was talking about how it's not funny when you don't, it's not something to laugh off that you've been in the UK or for 3 years and you've never been to your child's parents' evening. It's not something to say, African parents, they don't have time for that. Don't fall into that trope is what she was. Seeing the back and forth to me was so interesting in that she said, even if it's once a month.
Yeah.
At the point, she said, okay, someone was saying, we'll be doing this one every weekend. She said, okay, once a month. They still had arguments. And I just thought, this attitude where you think everything is an attack, first of all, almost like that she's saying you're a bad parent or she's trying to imply that you're working so hard for fun, as opposed to saying, look, part of you having to work so hard in this country is because taxes are a lot. Taxes are a lot because there are also supposed to be a lot of benefits.
Like there's actually a lot
and the benefit is not only healthcare.
Yeah.
There are things
you can actually
and I could tell that this was a discovery for her, that she was talking basically like, since I started finding out the kind of free things I can do with my children in this country, I'm not going back to
There's
the ghetto.
actually a lot. Look,
There's
one of
so
the
much.
funnest days, and I was so grumpy that day because I had to take my cousins and their 4 little friends to the science museum. Highly irritated. Let me not lie. Me, I was having them. They were like, okay,
It's
let's
so
go. I said, no, I want to
good.
watch
It's
this
so
thing
much
that
fun.
they're doing. It was so much fun. I remember I was saying to someone about like things like the Museum of Ice Cream. There's no reason that should exist.
I loved it.
But I loved it. I was just like, this is rubbish. When you look
If
at
you go
it,
back to New York, I'm definitely going again.
I was like, if you look at this thing closely, this Museum of Ice Cream is you just spend 1 hour playing. There's nothing that's happening in this place. But it was so fun and interesting. I went to Tate at night. I've been wanting to go. The Tate Model is a gallery. They do this thing on Thursday nights. And I was just like, this is just... Look, the internal Chorus station, they have this thing where the alternate... Honestly, when you look at it, it's just large screens.
Mm-hmm.
It's just large screens. But the screens are like, as in wall to floor, ceiling to floor. And throughout the ceiling, there's just LED screens. And they're showing different things.
It's
incredible.
Gorgeous.
Incredible.
You go home feeling good.
Bro, and it's free. We just went there and sat down. And the screens and they have different sessions. It was I had such a grand time doing that. What did it cost me? The price of the tube ticket. I went there, we sat down for 1 hour. We had McDonald's. It was a lovely time. And I thought, this is just, every day was things like that. And I just kept thinking to myself, this is actually the thing. This is actually the difference with Niger. There's so many things you can't just do. There was no real
purpose.
We're even talking so much. Look at this zoo. Very exciting. Many animals. That is all.
Yeah.
You go there, there are animals. You see different things. You go home. But it's interesting. You learn a lot. If you're for the children, there's all this petting, one thing. But like in life, where are you going to see all these things in one place? We don't have it.
Even gardens. I remember the first time I went to the Chelsea garden.
No, I haven't been to that. I've been to Kew Gardens, Kew Botanica. Bro,
I'm not even a plant person. That's the thing. I'm not a plant or flower person. And I think I went because my mom really, really likes flowers, really likes them. So I was just like, do you know what? This Chelsea flower show, let me go and see what this is about. That's when I now understood. I understood hobbies. This was when I was in uni, I think. I understood. I think there's something about that made me think, right, like this is the point of, what's being in a society where you're still on like the lowest level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs does is it makes every other thing frivolous and foolish and stupid.
Yeah.
Right? It's just, you have to survive. So you're not wasting, quote unquote, wasting time with pleasure. And for them, and for people where pleasure is, sex and sex and religion.
Yeah.
Right? Everything else is a waste of time.
Yeah.
The idea of museums, gardens, fairs, I don't know, libraries.
It's just not part of.
It's not part of your. But it's also. I think it's also like a function of being in a super individualistic society.
Yeah,
because for those things to exist, they have to be paid for.
Yeah,
for that to be paid for, it requires public and private participation, but also taxes and like a dedication to make sure those things keep running, right? But it's just a bit interesting because I made sure, because I was like, I have nothing that I'm trying to achieve this trip. I just want to do interesting. I went to the Mayor of Scaredy Cat Town, which is a bar that I really enjoy. Really? I've never been.
Because when you go, it's at the back of is it Breakfast Club? Anyway, it's very silly. You have to enter a fridge and you say like a little password. It's always a bit silly. Yeah. But why the hell? Why wouldn't I go into a bar at the back of a restaurant inside a fridge? Why the hell not? Why wouldn't I do that?
Yeah.
But here, if we did all this, our head would not be so hot all the time. But then you think about it that when you're struggling with traffic, trying to make money, you actually can't have time to be going to a bar inside the fridge.
Yeah. Or just to sit. You don't have time to just sit.
You don't have time to just be sitting. Look at the alternate now. If you think about it, if it's in Nigeria now, you want to run a whole building with 3 floors where there's just LED, as in this entire room, apart from the floor,
and
is LED screens. And they're showing, as in whatever you are watching is literally around it. Is it your gen you want to run other one on?
What if there's a day with high
You now have
current?
to buy stabilizer because the day you have a job, you hearing ka, all your screens
All your screens have blown.
but God bless you.
Yeah. Small thing.
Do you get? Or, it's free. Your staff is charging people 2K to enter. They've done VIP.
They've done VIP.
They've done VIP in one corner that they said. It's all these silly little things. And I think that's what I loved the most about this trip. I went to the V&A. I don't even like the V&A.
Really? I love it.
I just went there. I was like, I was seeing the poster. They had one thing that they were showing. I was like, why not?
Why not?
We went. I was like, cool. This is fine.
Did you try any new restaurants?
I did, but I also, me when I go to London, I always have a list. I tried only one new restaurant. I just went to the old favorites that I knew exactly what I wanted to order more. But again, even that, all these new restaurants that have new concepts or what, we don't have them.
Yeah, I think it's just a function of purchasing power and
it's just where
time.
It's where kind of society is. But it was the circus one that I was like, man, we really don't have things because we were having such a great time, and I was like, this is for nothing.
Yes,
honestly, when you think about it, the place was packed. But it was, and there's so many people with kids there.
Have you ever been
people were on dates?
Yeah, I went to it was years ago, a jousting. Have you ever been to a jousting tournament?
So funny.
It's so fun.
I've never seen people do that in real life.
It's so
My cousin
fun
does
and it's so
fencing,
silly.
In a serious way.
It's so silly and it's so fun. It's so silly and it's so fun and it's a really, really good time. But I think we just don't know the degree to which we're being robbed of.
Yeah, we have no whimsy. We have
of experiences that
Yeah.
also create community in their own way, and it spills off into. I think a lot more people in Nigeria are a lot more creative than they know. But when you take out art, music, theater from schools, and there's no way to have that kind of enrichment if you're not from a super well-off family or social strata, it's very weird. I think about the fact that the theater in Nigeria is not an ongoing thing. It only happens. The theater is really like an Easter, Christmas thing, and the tickets are super expensive because putting it on is expensive, and government support for that is low, and not just government support, but even people supporting the arts in that way.
Yeah. Whereas if you travel every day of the week, if you want to be on the West End, you can.
You surely can. Then there's even awful.
My dear, you surely can.
There's one that is off.
You can
West
even
End.
wait on all those websites that give you bottom barrel tickets just to say, I've seen Lion King 6 times in the theater. I've seen Lion King 6 times. My grandpa was obsessed with the Mousetrap. It's one play that honestly, I'm not even really sure is that great. It's a whodunit. And honestly, after you found out who done it the first time, I'm always like, sir,
we already know.
We know who killed that. But he used to go he was just like, the acting is so good.
Brilliant,
that even though you know who has died, but I have seen that play with my grandpa at least 4 times. For over how many years? There's different.
I remember when
I went to see the Book of Mormon. There's so many things.
For our A-levels, my second year of A-levels, this second or first, we did The Woman in Black for literature. And then Daniel Radcliffe was playing the main male character, the lawyer, in the West End. And so our school had organized for us to go and watch it. So obviously it was like a big deal.
Yeah.
We went to watch The Woman in Black. And I'd seen plays, obviously, lots and lots of plays. But I remember being so amazed that because a big part of the setting of the film, of the play is also a character.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of description of how it feels. So I remember at some point, we then realized they had turned down the heating. So we would all be really cold. And then I think they had like mist fans or something. So at some points where he's supposed to be walking to the house and he's on the moors, it feels, I'll never forget. And at some point, this woman that's haunting the house, everywhere goes pitch black with him. So normally just the stage that will go pitch black so everybody can see, shit, he's in trouble. But we didn't expect it. The whole room goes pitch black. And obviously they told multiple people because this woman is haunting the house, right? So she walks through, and if you're sitting on the aisles, you could feel something brush. Jesus Christ. You get me? I scream for my daddy. Blood of Jesus. But you know, like, so you have that experience, right? You come out, and then we're talking about the play the next week, and everything is real. Yeah. And you understand in a different way, and you see in it. And obviously, this is fundamentally a bit silly, isn't it? It's literature.
Honestly,
it's a book. It's a book too. You're supposed to read.
It adds to your life. Look, one of my favorite dates was, I don't know if you've ever been to one of these like experiential movie things where, so this one, I can't even remember the movie, but it was an old film. I want to say it was Breakfast at Tiffany's, but it could have been Casablanca or Gone with the Wind. Who knows? It was long, so maybe it was Gone with the Wind.
Probably Gone with the Wind.
But all the food they had in the movie, you had. Oh. So all the food and drinks and whatever they had in the movie, they were serving while you were. It was a fantastic date. I just thought, what's the point of this? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
What's the point of this? When the character is drinking champagne, they bring champagne out for you.
Man,
when she was having pasta, they served it. And it was tiny portions, like, but it was just everything. They had ice cream in the movie. Everything they had in the movie, like food and drink, they served. And I was just like, there is no reason for this.
Oh my God, can we do that for Sophia in London?
Please. I think we should actually do it, because think about it. There was no reason for it, but it was so exciting because I was just like, why the hell would this happen?
Yeah,
it was a brilliant date. Cool. Very useless boy, but can't lie. Shout out to him.
Have you ever had a great date with a bad experience?
I have, and the person. Let me tell you something. What was irritating me? Someone I had a fantastic date with who is foolish yesterday called me, and I said hello. I said, yeah, my phone reminded me it's your birthday. I said, I was like, yeah, today's the 8th of February. So yeah. I said, my birthday was in January. I said, I just saw the reminder now. I said, bro, is everything... He said, Shebi, I called you. I said, it's 9 days. It's okay, no problem. Don't take happy birthday. Bye-bye. I said, and I messaged him now, and this is why I could not work. He said, no problem. People that didn't wish you happy birthday now, you're not shouting at me that I called you. I just thought, are you and your phone, are the two of you stupid?
No, it's very foolish individuals.
I was like, are you insane? And he was like, so no thank you, nothing. I just thought, and that's a person who, he had the best days, but just a foolish, I don't know how to explain it. I just said, look at the state of your life now. Look at what you did. I saw the phone call and I thought, why the hell is this one calling me? Say, yeah, I just called to say happy birthday. I thought, the birthday that we left almost 2 weeks now.
I just remember somebody who I went on a couple of dates with, but I just felt was a bit much. And he didn't take it well. When I was just like, I don't think... Do you know, people are so funny. If you hear me, this guy made sure to call me by mistake. So, like, basically flash my number. And I went, oh, was that a mistake? He now said, yeah, I've been so out of it. I recently got married. One thing about niggas, they go nig.
Let me tell you something. That you people are marrying individuals who are flashing people to say that they were out of it.
To say,
and they just
I heard you are still single, idiots. Stupid girl. That made me laugh so hard. I was like, oh wow, congratulations. And I think my enthusiasm of the congratulations really threw him off. I think he thought I would say, oh, really? Who is she? I don't know. I don't know.
Or is it like my foolish ex who invited me to his wedding, and then he was like, oh, why didn't you come?
Oh, I have an ex that he doesn't invite me. I'm very offended.
Yeah, I now said, as in, why will I come? And I said, you're still feeling me, Abby. I had to. You guys, this was in a public gathering. He said, why didn't you come to my wedding? I said, why will I come to your wedding? Yeah, you're feeling me a bit. I said, I just hope everything is okay. I was like, my dear, your wife is over there. I said, don't lie, you're still feeling me. So I pained you. I just thought, and as somebody married you. This is the challenge. The challenge I'm having is that somebody at any small thing, once I say, I beg, I'm a married man, don't be greeting me. I'm like, are you stupid?
Yeah. I mean, apart from us going on holiday, what else happened over the break? Our friend Okiki got married. I shitting us, this fool got married on a Saturday. On Sunday was telling us God to do your own.
You guys, no,
I
forget
said,
God to do your own. I
bro.
text Okiki because he had his trial on Saturday and he was having his call. You guys, being friends with the groom is somehow.
Oh gosh.
Let me not lie to you.
Oh my God.
Okiki informed us on Sunday that his court wedding was on Monday. And we now said, what will you do? So they'll go home now after. I thought, your wife will now be thinking, after you say you have all these friends in Lagos, you just go home. So we were now trying to organize lunch, one thing. Okiki, how many people are you inviting? I'm not sure. Let me check. I now message him, that guy, I need to actually book. He said, please. You're now messaging me more than my wife. I don't like it. I said,
a lunatic.
I just said,
David would have been very proud of you. If you see the way he was behaving.
I said, piss off. He just replied, me, a married man. I said, Okiki, the truth is I'm actually going to stop speaking to you.
You know what made us laugh? So we said, I can't remember what happened. We were arguing. So we were arguing about who is taller, me or Okiki. When I finished arguing, he now said, I have your type at home. He's so excited to say all these foolish Nigerian man things.
So happy.
He's so happy.
On my birthday, he sent me a poster which he made to say happy birthday from me and my wife. He now put their picture, their wedding picture there. I said, you opened Canva to do this. He said, I'm so happy.
But you know, the thing that made it very cute was like, Okiki had said that he always wanted to be somebody's husband.
Yeah.
So he's very happy.
He's
really pleased. Like he wanted to, this was on his like, something that was really important to him was to get married, somebody he loves. So it's so funny because he's still a fool, but he's so happy. And I'm not trying to be funny, but in my little feminist bag, I'm really excited when I see men excited to marry because
I quite like
you know normally it's women that are doing the most and telling story and my husband is and my husband done. So whenever I see men that are really excited to be married and like they're even like in the process, they are super engaged in the process and they too are fussing about their shoes and their tie and
just
the drinks.
Honestly, the whole experience was so funny.
Yeah.
That was also a lot of fun.
Hanging out with, I think just doing stuff with my friends, honestly, is in my old age that I've become that friend. They say if everybody's jumping in the river,
I will jump. Look, I actually have to be so honest that you can't threaten me with that because I've already jumped. I've actually finished. I want to know what's happening there.
Yes.
I want to know what's happening there. If they jump into the fire, guess who's going to be there?
I'll be there.
I will be there.
I will jump.
I just have to be there. So, and it's just the more we do things, I'm just like, this is actually ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense.
Even other things like seeing how we do sometimes, not rowdy, but we went somewhere.
Oh, wow, very rowdy.
And I could see people looking at us like, who the hell are these
And we all
people?
came in together.
I think we're arguing from the car. So we're already mumbling and jumbling and I could see somebody looking at us like...
when we went into where we got there, shall we drove a long way. Where we got there, I just heard, I want to Kulele. I just... They knew from afar. Because as soon as we got down, before we moved, Soji held me and John, no. He gave one random person, please take our picture. I said, guys, we've just arrived at this location. Can't we even just sit down? Bloody hell.
I love hanging out with my friends. Such a joy.
It's
we also had a meeting earlier this year.
We did. You guys, I need you to know, we had a meeting about how to make it in how to make blow money in 2026. There were some suggestions that I'm not sure about as a group. For example, we had like luxury kidnapping
with good food.
Think about it. Like if you're kidnapped in banana and you're eating slow, RSVP, on a high class meals
and accommodation,
high class accommodation, 5-star kidnapping services is what we're providing. What else?
Godly rituals.
Yes. Just in
so no human being, just animals
like chicken,
goat,
normal things, nothing too bad.
Max, you still use your enemy's pants.
God bless you. We had a loan service for people who want to do BBL or hairline enhancement.
Buy now, pay later.
Yes. hairline enhancement.
That one had a lot of encouraging.
It did.
Feedback.
So if you are looking to like go to Turkey for your hairline or do BBL, we have a financial service.
We haven't been in an app.
Yeah, that you can.
that.
But one of the more promising ones was penis enlargement.
Yeah.
It's a subscription. A subscription.
3 months.
Let me explain to you. It's 3 months. It only works in the 3rd month. You have to pay.
The first month is to prepare your body.
Yes. The second month is to adjust. Then in the 3rd month,
you now see the groove.
But here's the good thing about this business. If it doesn't work, you can't really complain because we will have to demand before and after.
Pictures and videos.
And how do you want to do it? Also, if you want to table the matter, we'll have to come out publicly to apologize to you that David's penis enlargement did not work. How do you want that to happen? Why will you want me to say publicly that you need penis enlargement cream? Another side business.
I just remember that when we're talking about it, what you said, that we have to tell them that the picture, you can't be flaccid.
You guys, watching not sensible. No, what's crazy about this thing is we have a whiteboard.
Yeah,
and
we've still been adding things.
All these things down on the whiteboard. The side business to this was also manpower. So as a supplement to the penis enlargement, you can have all these manpower drinks. Manpower. Yeah. But again, also a subscription model.
Yeah.
So you have to
build up your tolerance.
Yes. So, these are some of the choice things.
We also consider starting a church.
Yes.
We even had head of departments. We have shared it.
We have all departments.
We have almost all the important departments.
Yes, in the church.
What else did we have there? We thought about doing made in Nigeria psychedelics.
Yeah, like all this
ayahuasca.
All those are ashwagandha. All those things that you go to one mountain, okay.
Yeah,
then you run mad.
we have.
But we don't mix all this agbo.
We had all sorts of
ideas. Mix all this agbo, then your village people can get work. So that was also there. Many money making schemes.
We had an NGO.
Yes. The NGO was
for
called
Peace and
Sustainability in the Environment.
And so that we can collect any type of
grant. That was the NGO. If you ask what we're doing, Peace and Sustainability in the Environment. That's the NGO. Anything that covers, plus girl child, everything. Everything is inside.
Yes.
So a lot of promising. We also had a mature dating app.
Hook up into marriage.
Yes, that's the concept of the app. The concept of the app is from hook up to marriage.
Yes.
That's the vibe. So it's not just about hooking up. It's directly from hook up to marriage. That's the concept of but matured dating app. So these are some choice.
We had a great time trying to figure it out.
Honestly, I think it was a very good brainstorming session. And more people, I think you and your friends should gather and work on some...
How you're going to make money this year.
Work on some ideas together. I think you'll come up with... We had some promising things, let me not lie. We have
things in the works.
We had things cooking. So we had some other ideas. There were like 15 ideas that we had on the whiteboard. So you guys should look out for one of all these things coming
support
up.
Us.
Yes. If you see that Soja become a pastor, just know that our church is kicking off.
House on the lake.
Okay.
House by the lake. House by the lake.
That's what the church is called. House by the lake. Okay. So we already have who's going to do testimony that he was a cultist. Yes. Sure.
From there, you know him. Don't worry.
Yeah. We already have who's going to do testimony.
We have that one. We have our head pastor. We have head of protocol. We have women's ministry leaders.
Have youth.
We have youth leaders.
Trust me. The church is going to be popping off. You guys don't know what's coming. What else did we do again?
We went to the beach.
We did go to the beach.
That was so much fun.
It was
again a noisy and rowdy bunch. Very unserious.
And we didn't go near one single water. Okay, well, like 3 people swam.
It was hot.
A few people swam. I had a birthday.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun.
That was so much fun.
That was a lot of fun. I had a birthday. I had praise and worship and then a boozy brunch because balance is the key to life.
It was really nice.
After lovely praise and worship led by Canvas Clay, we then had a champagne boozy brunch, which is just the key. Balance is very important. You have to do all.
Mind you, during the brunch, Fekemi's grandma sent ayamashi.
Yeah.
And rice.
And you know, the shock to me was everybody was like, that all this made we've been eating bread, sourdough, this one, that one. If you see the way, the next day, 2 different friends came to pick up Mashe to take home.
It slapped
just
like
a desperate situation.
But that was really, really nice.
That was fun. What else did we do again? You know what this is my problem with friends. And I was telling my mommy this and she was like, are you people okay? We went to the beach. That's how many, we went to the beach. Me, I was on the second boat. Me and John were late. We went to the beach. It's Amaka's fault anyway. We went to the beach from 1 to like 6. We came back from the beach. Instead of everybody to go home, we still went to Bolu's house again after. And you know, I remember saying to my mom, and she was just like, "Sorry."
Yeah, we had a good time.
She was
we just like hanging.
Do you guys
again? If our friends jump into the river, we too must jump.
You guys not have like anything that you want to accomplish in life? Or I said absolutely.
Weekend is for my friends.
Sorry, I just can't. I can't do it. You know, the weekend is not for that. All these accomplishments is Monday. All this Monday, Tuesday. Once it hits that weekend. What else did I do? Shout out to Kiki. He got me a massage at Dermaspace for my birthday.
Oh, that's nice.
And when I got there, they insisted on telling me that he said it's from him and his wife.
I love that. Actually, I got a facial. What else did I do this holiday that was kind of out of the
Oh my gosh. So do you know what is so funny? I was sitting there with my grandma and she was like, oh yeah, I've been talking to you about freezing your eggs. And
grandma?
I swear to God. And we booked the appointment then. And
Mama?
I swear. It wasn't even like a deep thing. She was just like, hey, I've been meaning to tell you.
Sounds like that.
I think you should freeze your eggs.
Makes sense.
And she said this and she carried on and I just thought, I was like,
I like a proactive.
I was like, this baby, what is? She said it and she moved on. And then she was like, let me even call Dr. Kiniko. And she called her friend whose daughter is a fertility. And I promise you, we booked the appointment. And she just carried on till date. I'm just like, what's happening here? I told my mama, she was like, she mentioned this one time that I should tell you that you should probably freeze your eggs. That she sees that people are doing it.
Yeah, I was reading about.
Yeah, because she was saying that somebody's daughter or something didn't do it. No, they didn't do it. And then, like, it was really, really difficult for them. So she was just like, that she heard is not that expensive. That why don't I? So I went to the first appointment. Very interesting stuff. It's less complicated than I thought, actually. I will tell you a bit more about it once I've done it.
Once you've done it, okay.
Yeah.
Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, my next appointment is in like 2 weeks or something.
I've never really thought properly about it. I've done some research, but I've never like committed to it.
Yeah, and the woman was saying that honestly more and more people are doing it, and she was like, it just makes sense. She was like, people kind of overanalyze it or think this and that. She's just like, it's just a hedge. It is an insurance for your body. And I think
it also, depending on how you are as a person, your age, what you want out of life, and how you know you operate, I think there is something that for a certain type of person, it also takes away some of the pressure.
Yeah.
Because if you're someone for whom children
is really important.
It's really, really important. You can make certain decisions if you feel you are under a tremendous amount of time-bound pressure. And I think having that as an option, it's not a surefire thing at all.
It doesn't guarantee. But it just gives you more options.
But I think for a certain type of person, having that, knowing that you've made that decision, helps reduce pressure. That leads to very often foolish decisions.
I think it was quite important, and she was really nice and very knowledgeable. I want
to know more about this.
And I would say that once I do it, I've not done anything yet. I just had an initial meeting. I will explain what it's like, and I have really bad PCOS, so this is quite helpful.
It is
if you are in this situation.
This is just an aside, but apparently Nigerian doctors, fertility doctors are one of the best in the world.
That's what she was saying. She was like, people travel here to do fertility treatments. It's a thing.
They're some of the best in the world, but then also Nigerian doctors are really great at fibroids.
Yeah, it's one of the things that like we have medical tourism for.
It's something that plagues mostly women of African descent. A lot of Nigerian gynecologists see it more often, and so they do the surgeries more often. They see it more often. It's like the same way Nigerian mechanics are very good. A lot of things that people would condemn abroad because of Nigerian buying power, they just have to figure out how to fix. So there's a lot of stuff that they wouldn't even bother with abroad that Nigerian mechanics over time have learned how to do.
Yeah.
So I found that very interesting.
The fertility one is really interesting because I didn't realize, but she was saying that it's a huge thing that especially from other African countries, people actually fly into Nigeria to do fertility treatments and it's good and bad, but because we've had so many issues here, they're now really experienced. So for people, someone was asking me about this. I saw a DM about this freezing of eggs thing. I'm sure doing it now. I didn't do it before. I was meant to do it before. But I'm going to do it like in the next couple of weeks. And so I will explain what it's like. But I thought it was
we can have the doctor on.
Yeah, we could. Yeah. I thought it was a lot more complicated than it is. The only thing is that, of course, your results are now not necessarily guaranteed in terms of how many eggs or whatever
you're able to harvest.
So it's not necessarily that straightforward. She was like, many people do it more than once to try and maximize. And it just helps. You can't get pregnant naturally or you're struggling and you have options somewhere. It's just quite important. She was also saying a few very interesting stories of like people who are frozen. Well, it's more so the other side where people who have a lot of couples, if you're freezing your eggs, the guy might also save his sperm. People wanting to have children later, even though the relationship has finished with the spermatozoa.
I think there's a lot of
the spermatozoa of the previous
partner. Individual. I think there's a lot of ethical stuff that people are still figuring out.
Is that not insane? Why will you do that?
Isn't that what happened to what's her name? From Modern Family, the Latina woman. So her ex-husband wanted to use her eggs
to have
have a child after the relationship was over, and she was like, you knocked.
But yeah, so the woman was saying that there's a lot of funny things that happen, but that's obviously just the fringe cases, but people actually try things like that.
Before we get to the dilemmas, there's something I wanted to mention that I found interesting. So Bemi tweeted about how she was so surprised when she asked someone, oh, how are you? In the regular fashion of being polite. And they answered honestly. So the person was like, yeah, I'm okay, but I broke up with my... Like, he was like... He actually told her how he was. And for a second, she was shocked before she remembered that, this is actually
how you're meant to answer.
How are you it's not just meant to be like a nicety, right? It's a show of concern and people are supposed to answer honestly. And it reminded me of someone I bumped into that because of this fertility thing. I asked her, she's an acquaintance, but a friendly acquaintance. And I told her, she had gotten married. I was like, congratulations. How are you and your husband? And she was like, we're great. We're just trying to figure out like getting pregnant at the moment. And I remember being like, she was like, did I overshare? I said, no, that's just, I can't remember the last time somebody, she was like, yeah, it's not been easy, but thankfully she had frozen her eggs and they both were very honest about the fact that they wanted children. So they've started, and I think she said that she has 3 viable eggs or something. We got into this whole conversation. She's like, well, that's exciting. How are you? I said, my sister.
It's like when people write trust you. I'm not well. You've not meant me well. You've not meant me anything. But yeah, that's very interesting.
It's very just when people say stuff like that. There's also somebody I said, how are you? And she said, I'm well at the moment because sometimes I'm not well. And I said, really? She's like, yeah, like sometimes she feels like her mental health is quite shaky, but she's doing great at the moment. And I said, you know what? This is useful.
It's very useful information, actually.
This is actually very useful. And so now I'm going to try someone that's very hedgy. I'm going to start trying to force my dad today. I'm going to tell him that, Daddy, when I ask how are you, you need to give me information.
Yeah, I think for adults it's very interesting.
Yeah.
To see. What else?
Do you know my brother I just realized that my youngest brother does it.
Really?
Yes. So if you ask Jore, how are you? He will tell you he'll be like, yeah, work is very annoying. And maybe because we haven't lived together for so long, I had gotten used to know. But now that it's me and him, he will give me information. He'll be like, yeah, I remember when I was like, how are you? He's like, I'm fine. I want a microwave in our office raffle.
Please, this brings up something very important. See, there's no clearer sign that you are getting older than your relationship with souvenirs at events.
Girl,
I just want
my brother said you want that microwave. See, my mom was happy.
I want people to know
microwave.
That at the funeral I went to, there was the jumbo size Viva detergent moving around, as in the one that looks like a sack of rice. The big one, like that big one. I said, no problem. No problem. Because I saw they were giving out all these buckets, all these bowls. I was like, oh, no. When it came out, no. All those water bottles. I said, no. I was sitting next to my brother. As we saw the detergent, Italy looked at me. I looked at him. I said, my guy, Mr. Paul.
Let's make it swift, too.
Mr. Paul is coming tomorrow. Let's make it snap. You will collect this Viva. I said, there's nothing... My sister was there, her friend was saying, no, we can't carry it. We need to put it in a bag. I said, no problem. Do you know how much is detergent? As the Viva came, because I had said no to the babe, I said, please, drop this thing for me. My friend took two. She said, look, you need to know what is important for you, for your life.
Yeah.
I think someone was now like, if they share rice in this place, they might rock. They might actually become one of those people that is tearing.
Auntie, I've not received mine.
Whoa, bro. There was like gas cooker tops, like the flat one, 4 burner. See people dressed to the nines, standing up. Excuse me, you will not pass me by. Come back. Let me see. Whoa. I just said, no. We're aging out, and it's a crazy one because what you're seeing is the sign bills. These are people that are paying. That when I saw that detergent, I thought to myself,
my friend's
this
wedding.
will remove 20K from my groceries.
I went to my friend's wedding. So the bride is my friend, but the bride's father was quite good friends with my dad. So my dad and mom, as usual, I was entering the wedding. Literally, I was entering, they were leaving. My mom just called me, Jola, one house perfume. But your dad is already grumpy, so I couldn't wait to collect my own. She quickly gave me a ticket. Collect my own and your own. We need it for the house. She said, I said, my sister, I'm with you. And I got there and I saw, the fancy perfume set up. I said, good.
So what I now realize is us, we were obviously in the young people section. I now went to my mommy's table. One of my aunties now called me that, just take one of these bags. Don't shout. Take one of these bags. I picked wool. But that's when I knew that there are different levels of what they are giving out at the back. These things, high class items in the front, high class items. I said, this is actually the spice. This is what it means to have money. To be giving out crystal glasses at a party. Yes.
It's like how my friend got, one of my friends got she got like one sexy hand luggage. For her Christmas.
My grandma's party that my queen, Shade Okoya, came from Eleganza. Well, she came with that cooler that I brought to the beach. She came with she came with wheeled coolers. I took it to the beach.
Leave all this bad bitch that boy is doing.
Let me tell you, I want to tell you something. So we went to Bolu's house. We went there again 2 days later. There was still ice.
Still frozen.
There was still ice
inside
that cooler.
We couldn't believe it, you guys.
There was still ice in the cooler.
2 days later.
2 days. Bro, that cooler
is doing a
there's
lot.
There's a wheeled cooler from Eleganza. She gave it out at that party and I was there. I took it. I still have the cooler. Very important element. All these hand luggage. They're very important things you must collect.
I carried the hand luggage.
No, you had to.
I took it. I disturbed that.
It's actually so important. I even prefer people that are organized. They have tickets, gift voucher, gift tickets. So that you don't have to be doing too much. You don't have to be into too much hustling.
Yeah. So like people,
it's an art.
Now that there are QR codes. So apparently, what happens now is when you go with your QR code, there are different tickets as well. So parents, guests have a ticket that then tells the people that are distributing souvenirs what to give them, or if they can get like extra things. So I think my mom had like 2 or 3, so she had like a regular souvenir, then she could get the house oil, I be diffuser. And I said,
What I realized is that it's very, look, there are things that are very important. What I realized is that the real VVVIPs, they send the souvenirs to their house. Because as I didn't see my grandma on Sunday. I got there. I said, what was all this? She said, oh, obviously at the party, she wasn't collecting, so they sent it to her.
Oh, yeah, now.
I said, it's how people are operating in this life. So, what? They've never delivered anything to my own house onto party. And truly, who am I? In the grand scheme of everything, who am I? I said, now, wow. When did they start doing home delivery of party gifts?
Yeah, I went to a wedding.
No, that she could not be hustling for all these.
This is neither here nor there. I went to Timmy's wedding on Saturday, and I realized how old I'm getting because the first thing I thought was that jewelry is crazy. I saw her jewelry. I said, God damn, what a wow.
Oh, me, I've accepted that one long ago.
Oh, no,
I love a matching set.
I actually never cared.
Big.
I've never cared.
But
that one, I said, wow.
Owambe jewelry, very important. So.
Yeah, very cute.
Very important.
It was very, very nice. That was also fun. Again, going to a party with your friends when your other friends are getting married. What a good time. What a lovely and smashing time. But yeah, we had a very long, very nice holiday. Now, unfortunately, we have to be back with you, Lord, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's just what it is. I don't know. Oh, Mimi said that she informed me that she's coming on the 3rd episode of this podcast. Okay. She said that if we have another guest, they're going to sit down next to her.
She's on serious.
So that any topic, any matter we have, episode 3, she'll be there.
Is it all she should be telling us? Teresa?
Yes. Meanwhile, yesterday, she told me that she's having some issues with her eyes and she was trying to book an appointment with Mavo. You know, he's doing optometry to look into.
I want her to know that Dr. Mavo believes body parts.
I said actually the two of you will actually be blind. It's actually the two of you. She said, yeah, that how can she contact him for him to test I just thought, are you personally okay? Who you want to see for your eye test is Mavo. Oh, good. Please ask him if he's taking clients. Has that boy finished school? Good. Ask him if he's doing internship for people. My sister has serious eye problem, and that's who she wants. That's who she's choosing. If you go to your doctor and you see that boy there at this stage of his life. Anyway, so please, if you have his contacts.
As I was telling her that eyeball is do not.
If you have that boy's contact, please, she needs this eyes paining her. So, look, the dilemmas. I looked at some of them and you guys have not improved. Your situation in life is not getting better. And I don't really know what to say about that. I find it quite concerning. Although I must say that on my birthday, I got the loveliest messages from mostly people that I don't know. I mean, obviously, my friends, whatever.
But like people that listen to the podcast.
Yeah, it was really, really lovely.
That's
nice. People actually went out of their way, and I thought that was quite strange.
Okay. I have one from someone who calls themselves Chief Bridesmaids.
Yeah, she sent this thing like 7 times.
Yeah, so we might as well. So she says, hi, FK and Joel. I need advice because every time I narrate this story, the person listening pauses and asks me, are you actually serious? Last August, my aunt asked me to be her chief bridesmaid and I agreed. That decision slowly turned me into an unpaid errand girl who absorbed insults, embarrassment, and stress for months. The first thing that really pained me was the cake incident. I was in London and thought I wouldn't be available to receive the birthday cake I ordered for her fiancé. So I put his number for delivery and forgot to update when my plans changed. Simple logistics error. Instead of understanding, I was shouted at, insulted, and told I wasn't smart or streetwise. Then came the flower and birthday gift incident. I sent the flowers and gifts via Uber to his office. When they arrived, he asked the Uber driver for my details and the driver refused. He then tracked down the florist, threatened her to release the information, got my number and called me directly. Confused and innocent, I told him who I was and how I was related to his supposed girlfriend. My aunt later found out and was furious. Apparently, I wasn't meant to exist to identify myself. Again, I swallowed it. Then there was the wig incident. She sent me all the way to Lekki to buy a wig and I suggested we don't cut the lace in case she wanted to exchange it and she insisted. Once she saw the wig, she screamed it was rubbish, not HD and looked like Rizzo. She sent me back the next day to return it and I went back with shame only to be told correctly that it couldn't be returned because the lace had been cut. I became a messenger and negotiator, begging vendors until they eventually refunded her. Again, no apology or appreciation. Another humiliation. She sent me to Banker Kuku to pick outfits, telling me her husband would come to the store and pay to pick them up. I went there like a personal shopper, informed sales staff, and left. He never showed up. I had to return later to explain myself and quietly collect my shame. Meanwhile, I was constantly using my own money to get things for her fiancé and having to chase her for refunds like I was begging. All this while, I was job hunting and financially unstable. The biggest shock came when I realized there was no real wedding. Mm-hmm. Her fiancé does not want his parents or family to know he's getting married. Introductions were postponed. Plans kept changing from big wedding to private wedding to court wedding to nothing. December came and went. No wedding. At some point, I generally wondered if this husband is a spirit. But apparently asking where someone's in-laws are is disrespectful. From August to December, after all the stress, errands, Uber rides, insults, embarrassment, and emotional labor, I got a whopping 100,000 in total. And to today, she still sends me her PhD work at odd hours to help her with, unpaid, while also speaking badly about me behind my back. So my questions are, how do you set boundaries with an older family member who exploits you? How do you walk away without being labeled rude or ungrateful? And is it okay to stop helping when family consistently humiliates and disrespects you? Because honestly, when I say this out loud, even I ask myself, were you okay?
Okay, so please have an addendum. Because as of 2 days ago, she wrote, "It actually gets worse."
Oh God. Oh my God.
She wrote, I don't know if you remember my previous dilemma.
Oh, we remember.
This is the continuation. She now says, now here's the part I didn't fully process at the time. Even while we're planning this wedding, you said all these parts. And then she said, now to why I'm writing again. Her school is in the US and her academic portals are understandably very secure. I have repeatedly told her that I cannot log into her school platforms from Nigeria. We have tried codes, VPNs, different devices, and nothing works. Her response, she insists that her friends can log in for her from other countries. Therefore, I should be able to. Apparently, the problem is not the school security system. It's definitely me. She has now suggested that we set up a Zoom meeting so I can remotely control her laptop and log into her school account to be doing her assignments. At this point, I genuinely didn't know how to respond because how does that even make sense? Especially coming from somebody pursuing a PhD. But there's another layer that hurt me deeply. While I was actively unemployed, she told me she had found an online job and asked me to help her tailor her CV to the role. I did it happily. Later, she told me that the idea was that she would apply and I would do the work from Nigeria and earn about $15 per hour when the money came in, and she would send it to me. In my mind, I was so happy. Anyone in Nigeria understands that what that kind of opportunity feels like. I genuinely thought someone was finally helping me. My mom, even knowing nothing, was happy that something was finally coming my way. Later, she casually said that she got scared and didn't go ahead with it. That's when I started realizing something painful. This woman has just been selling me hope, using my effort, my time, and my desperation without any real intention of following through. I am tired.
My gosh.
My sister, my question is that you still keep answering this lady. She wants you to be doing her PhD assignment. Sorry, who does that? What kind of PhD is that? Is everybody okay? Who asked you to apply for PhD? That you want your niece in Nigeria to do your PhD assignment? What's the PhD in? Then you're lying to her that you get her a job and use. It's just so confusing. But let me tell you, the truth is that she has just seen over time that actually there's no end to what she can ask you to do that you will answer her.
Oh my gosh, I had this conversation with somebody yesterday. So we're talking about a different random situation. And he was like, yeah, the person is doing A, B, C, and D to his friend. And I said, oh, I can tell you this for free. What this person is trying to do is figure out where the line is. Right? They're trying to figure out how far can I... A lot of people do it unknowingly. It happens more... People often recognize in a new relationship. Yeah. So sometimes if you start dating someone, you start getting to know someone, even with friends, you learn very quickly, this is not a friend I can yell at or cut the phone on. Or a friend. So sometimes people are trying to figure out what is the line.
How far they can push.
Is the line like, oh, that time that I screamed at her on the phone and she just stopped picking my calls? Or was it the Uber or no? Banker Kuku, no. Wig, no. So they're trying to figure out the line. Also, your aunt might not be getting married because she's crazy.
Yeah, I think you have to acknowledge that.
So you see
maybe she's not okay and the man can see that.
Excuse me. Forgive me. Of course she's not okay. I have a theory here. Please work with me.
Okay.
The reason he reacted like that with the cake is because she's not supposed to be contacting him. I am dead ass. That whole who is the florist? Who are you?
Which one
and
is? Yeah, she's not supposed to be saying anything.
She's not supposed to be contacting him because then once the cousin, that's why she needed her cousin to send the cake and
because once it now becomes a public thing that you're in a relationship, the man doesn't want anybody to know.
The guy is not with her. She's toasting him.
You said?
Okay.
As in with the florist.
Yes, but there was no wedding.
But there's florists.
There was no wedding.
But there's cake.
This is an insane person. There was no wedding.
But there's cake.
So she has co-opted somebody into her delusion.
Okay, but there's florists and cake.
Everything has originated from her. He has never sent her anything to this cousin. Everything originated from her. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? So
the outfit that they said he was coming to pay for.
Yes, all that stuff. She found somebody to co-opt into her delusion. Like she asked you to be her chief bridesmaid based on like a delusion. And I know
you two at the point your auntie is asking you to be a chief bridesmaid. Why didn't you clock that? Is everything okay? She doesn't have any friend. Also, at the point where maybe she's not even doing PhD. Because you guys, please tell me who cannot log into their PhD portal.
But also look at all the things she's doing.
No. Also, who do you know that is doing a PhD that is applying online for a job that pays $15 an hour? If you're applying for a PhD, then you have a master's.
No, but listen to this.
No.
Idea. Just work with me again.
She's looking for a remote job online.
Follow me. You guys, she is constantly having all these grandiose events.
Yeah.
So she's working on her PhD. She's getting married. And she's using this because now this cousin is telling family members, oh, I'm helping Exes with her wedding. So she's co-opting you into her delusion. This entire thing is not real. No, I know you guys think I'm joking.
It's actually
I've watched enough Criminal Minds.
No, I believe you.
And other shows to tell you that this behavior is basically somebody that has delusions of grandeur.
I believe you completely.
And has hyperfixated on something. And I decided that to make it real, I need to find someone who is working on the wedding.
That, do you know how crazy it is to be lying about both your wedding and also your PhD?
Okay.
As how now? Omolomo has been downloading VPN trying to log in to one school's portal since morning. What the hell? You have to be wise. Your auntie said a PhD candidate said you should adjust her CV for an online job for $15 an hour. Who is fooling who?
Okay, I have... But you have to... No, sorry, we didn't even help you. You have to tell your mom that you think this person is not well.
You actually have to start
you have
speaking
to tell your
up.
mom everything.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting you be outrightly rude, but you have to stop answering her. You have to become busy. Oh, so sorry, auntie. I can't make it. Yeah. I can't... Just, if she keeps disturbing you.
If she tells her, I promise you tell your mom everything you've written here. Your mom can never tell you to be polite.
Yep.
So I think your anxiety is because she's preying on the fact that you're a much
Nobody
younger
knows
relative,
and you're not going to say anything.
This is not normal behavior. Tell your mom that this is what is happening.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
I have one because, in life, this is not the Bible says, but, when you point one finger, there is 4 facing back at you. And this is just such a classic example
including
of this.
Your own middle finger.
God bless you. This person says, God, I beg you. And I want you to listen carefully for the gag in this dilemma. I'm not going to shout. I'll just read it and everybody should keep quiet. Hi, Jola and FK. Happy New Year. So my dilemma goes thus. I have a new talking stage. I really enjoy his company. But the only problem I have is whenever we text, reading his text gives me an headache because of his grammar.
An headache.
Because of the grammar. I don't know how to bring up this conversation. Please help me, guys. He speaks so well during physical conversations or on phone calls, but typing is just a problem. And you have an headache. And you are complaining about the grammar of another individual by text. Can you see why you're having a headache?
An headache.
Yeah. You can see why you're having an headache.
An headache.
You must have an headache.
In fact, you have many headaches.
headaches is what you know many, and that's why she wrote that thus, so that we'll know that actually she's coming from a grammatical background. But that's why she's having an headache. So you are the blind also leading the blind. You see, this is how people are sharing normally too. This is you see what happened to you now.
Nonsense.
It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. You are trying to make a fool out of the boy, and look at it. And you had time to read over this thing. So that's what I'm going to say. That an headache you're having, you keep having it. Don't worry.
Like mad.
Don't worry yourself. It's okay. It's okay. You don't know what your problem is.
That made me laugh, but it wasn't funny. Okay. So this person calls themselves Paused Life and Expired Promise.
Oh.
Says, I'm a 34-year-old man living in Nigeria. About 9 years ago, my female best friend who I met in uni in Nigeria, and I made an agreement that if we're both single, me at 35 and her at 32, we would marry each other. 2 years ago, she moved to the UK for her master's degree, and the plan was for us to move to Canada after her master's degree. Suddenly, she mentioned her friends casually introduced her to someone, and I feel like we've been drifting. We're not on calls for long hours. She misses my calls and won't return it till I have to call back, and then she blames work. I'm feeling like a fool because I've been honoring our vow and turning down relationships because I believed we had a plan. I'm absolutely gutted because I paused my life for her/us. Am I wrong to be resentful? And do I try to make it work or walk away quietly? Bola?
You are not only wrong, you are very stupid.
Boda?
Oh, you say you paused what?
He paused his life.
To honor the vow. Are you
honor their
crazy?
vow.
The vow you made was that if the two of you are single, first of all, what you love her. You are pretending.
No,
you
wait.
are desperate. In fact, desperately in love with her.
I'm too cynical for
Secondly,
this thing.
nobody wants to date you.
No.
It's not no.
Faking
Jola, listen to me. This guy is desperately in love with this lady.
There's a part you missed.
What?
Should I?
Oh yeah.
Please make sure you zoom in at this point. 2 years ago, she moved to the UK for her master's degree. And the plan was for us to move to Canada after her master's degree.
He's also a greedy goat.
Good!
A greedy goat.
Thank you so much. If you think a 34-year-old man with a job in Lagos cannot find somebody to date here, you are a clown.
Greedy goat.
You're into jokery and clownery. It was until she moved.
This is what they called some.
It was when she moved, he now said, yeah.
And your plan can let me tell you,
I'm in love.
Your plan can never work. Look at what you're telling me. You are not talking for long, not only long hours that you were talking before. I just don't. So
he put his life on pause.
Better press play.
He put his life on pause.
Sorry, you. I'll press play and if possible, fast forward to where 34. Keep it moving, my bro.
Please.
Just a greedy goat.
Please.
I just don't. Is everyone, just see what I'm saying about this new year? You guys are just quite a bit knocked and in a way that I don't know. So I'm going to, this one is quite funny because what the hell? Just a girl, no, there's one I want to read that there are two dilemmas that have the same kind of situation. So I'm going to read both of them before I come back to the funny one. The first one is Lady Whistle Down. Hi guys, good whatever time of the day it is when you get this. I met a guy some years ago while I was in school. Let's call him Williams. I can't recall how I met this guy.
Williams with an S?
Yes, which shows the state of mind of this individual. I met this guy, honestly, but I can't recall how I met this guy, but I've had his contact for the longest. I stopped talking to him after I saw a picture of someone I had been with before on his story, but I didn't know how they were related. I just didn't see a need to keep in touch with him, being that I know what he's all about and I already dated someone I feel we both know. Fast forward to this year, Williams reached out to me out of the blue and we just started talking again. This time I actually paid attention to him and he seems to pique my interest. Lovely. He has his flaws, but so far I feel he's good. He started asking me out and God, he knows how to give me butterflies. I like him. And when I realized that I had started to give him more attention than I intended to, I told him immediately about the person I mentioned I had seen on his story. I told him we had a thing, but we were no longer in touch. I asked him about his relationship with this guy, and he said that they were distant relatives. I probed further, but his answers were vague. He assured me that he thought that they were distant cousins. He thought. He just knows my reservations about dating someone that knows someone I've dated. And I just don't buy the idea. Now, recently, he told me that this guy is actually his direct brother. And he wants us to move past it. I find it uncomfortable and weird, but he's asking me to let it go. How do I go on knowing that I've been with his brother? What if those things I watch in the movies come true? Where he moves into his brother's house and the brother starts to flirt with me again. Okay, this is me just thinking too deep. But another thing is that his brother doesn't know, and he says he doesn't need his brother's permission to date whoever he wants, and that his brother really doesn't have a say. But still, what do I do? Please don't yab me too much.
You don't know about King and Abel.
Even Jacob and Esau. Oh, you've not even seen anything.
Joseph and his brother.
My
brother.
You want to date his brother. Also, this is a diabolical individual. He told you that man is his cousin.
He says he's my cousin.
Distant cousin.
It's my cousin.
Do you know, sometimes I feel like people, that man, he just reacted in that moment. I just thought.
He knew.
He knew.
As soon as you said,
who's that guy?
Who's that?
He knew.
Was like,
he knew that.
Yeah, fuck him.
I knew that. This stupid boy. I knew. Why you want to be with someone else to know your brother?
No. That's
weird.
a terrible idea.
It's weird.
It's a terrible idea. It's weird. It's very strange.
I'm sorry. Like,
also,
she said they had a thing, so it's weird.
No, but also, do you know that? I know this sounds a little. Sorry, guys. I'm starting this entire year so cynical, very unlike me. But you know, there are brothers who have like a weird thing about wanting what their brothers have.
Yeah. So
like,
there are men that
brothers that don't competition
mind.
in a very. There are men that have some really weird competition where your brother will buy a house somewhere, you want that house. Your brother has
a babe toy, and you want that babe.
You want that type of baby. You can't get that baby. You break up with the baby. You chase the baby. If you can't date her, you shall sleep with her. Something. You're like, there are people that have very sick or twisted
this is weird because her point is that he wants to be in an actual relationship, and she's like, I don't understand. Yes. So how will we be talking to your brother?
The cynical side of me is saying, yes, his brother dated him. He had a thing. He dates. Yes. This is just the cynical part of me. I'm so sorry.
You've watched too many movies because where your mind went to is, what if you have to move into your brother's house? Next thing, your brother wants to sleep with me.
No, it's just some stuff is just weird.
Some stuff is just weird, and I'm sorry. What I find strange is that he lied to you that he was his cousin. I know it seems silly, but honestly, that kind of lie is so crazy.
How can you even deny your brother like that?
Do you get?
My distant cousin.
Also, you had to ask him again for him to tell you that this guy is actually his brother.
Yeah, it's just weird.
So I don't know that I would. It's just weird. The whole thing is weird. Also, the brother does not know. The whole thing is weird. If everything was fine, why doesn't he tell the brother?
Yeah.
Tell the brother now that, I met this babe that you say you had a thing with. Let the brother to come and say, oh no, this one is fine. But now, two of you are hiding from the brother. It's weird.
It's giving it. For the
fact that you even saw the brother in his story and you were like, I cannot go near this thing. Everything is somehow.
This is the Nigerian version of the summer I turned idiotic.
Yeah, the summer I turned pretty. What is stupid and foolish. What do you know? There's so many of that trope. Have you seen My Life with the Walter Boys? I didn't watch it, but I saw the thing and I was like, is this actually a realistic?
I have an automatic.
Is this a realistic trope that people
I'm not trying to be funny. Hunter Biden married his brother's widow. Or they said his brother's widow. Don't you guys remember that? Yeah, like Joe Biden's son. Hunter dated his brother's. Oh, am I making that up?
No.
Can someone Google?
No.
Surely I'm not being insane, so that I can apologize if I'm making a mistake.
For me.
Can somebody check? Just check.
For me.
I'm being serious. I know that I feel like this thing happened.
It's a high level of somehow, in my opinion. It's quite somehow.
It happened, yeah. I remember that it was a whole thing about Hunter being with his brothers. Had an affair, yes. Did they marry? Well,
I mean, I get the affair, but like, I just don't understand the appeal.
You get what?
No, what I mean is that I get it that it was an affair and not the marriage is better. What if for example, I can't say this thing that I want to say. Wow, it's not good to put yourself in compromising situations.
We will say it on our payroll.
Good. What I mean to say is it do happen. It does happen like that.
No,
sometimes.
I feel like a marriage even makes
which is why maybe it's important for you to get the picture of everybody in their family before you approach.
Just
so that you can
once you meet someone and he's lovely, his brother, not even his friend. I'm so sorry. His
brother. You can't engage. You can't engage. And it is weird that the guy wants you to engage. To be perfectly honest,
I think there's something untoward.
I think it's really weird, but it's so funny because, and it's Peter. A lot of foolish things happen in my life. Is this my friend Peter? He said he has two people in mind. He wants to introduce me to. He sent me a picture of two of them. I said, are these not brothers? Say, yeah, you choose one now. I just thought, he said, just pick. And they're very different. I was like, is everything? So this is a good family.
How nasty. Please, the second dilemma.
Okay. Right.
Like people say dilemma. Dilemma.
I used to call the song Dilemma, actually. It was like, oh no, I've lost it. Absolutely lost it.
Okay.
Anyway, it was very much a case of somebody dating somebody that, like, the other friend.
How do you feel about friend? Okay, so like somebody dating their friend's ex.
Basically, so the second situation was very similar. About the thing is, the second situation is similar, but they're not brothers. They are friends and it was the opposite way, where the guy has dated her friend and he didn't, well, this one he knew. And now he is trying to date the friend and she's like, she didn't know that he had been with this other friend.
Okay.
And then she found out and she was like, we have to free this thing. And he's now saying, it's not that deep. And she's like, I'm not going to do this. And he's asking what he should do because in this case, he's like, this is a serious thing and that was not.
Okay, can I just be honest? I think people need to learn to back their beef.
They do.
By the time you're writing to us, not because you're confused. It's because
you want somebody to corroborate. You want to be able to show her and say, you see, even they also agree with me.
But you have to be okay with the idea of, if you choose this, not being friends with her. That's the only, I think that's what, you don't get to eat your cake and have it too. If somebody feels a way about you dating their ex, you don't get to argue them into changing their mind. You just have to be like, I really like this guy, so sorry to this friendship. And be okay with the idea of people having an impression of you. And if you can correct it, fine. But if you like him that much, be ready to back the beef.
I just don't think it's realistic. I'd like to be dating your friend's ex. I think it's crazy.
How friendly?
I mean friend in the actual sense of the word, not like you're acquaintance. I can never date somebody my actual friend has been with. It's just not possible.
What if your friend has gone off, gotten married, doesn't seem to care?
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
I don't know why we lie to ourselves. You still feel it's still somehow. It's still my own thing. Why are you there?
Yeah.
Like, there's so many people in the world for you. So I just don't get, there's a really interesting one.
Okay. I have one that the person calls herself a jealous bitch.
Wow.
And in capital I said, I am jealous of my sister-in-law and the life she has. She's an influencer. She's a great mom. She has a perfect husband. She has money. Well, at least I'm finer, maybe. But as a superficial ass babe, I can't understand how she seems so content in her life. And I'm just so jealous. Please chew me out and advise me on how to go about this. Because I feel like she's everywhere I go.
You need to get a life.
No, it's not that. It's not that.
Look, it's good that you're acknowledging your feelings of jealousy.
Let me tell you, oftentimes jealousy, because it's Candice that said it, jealousy often points you to something you want.
Yeah, you want the kind of life she's living. Life she has. That's just all it is.
But I think there's something about experiencing an emotion and then acting on the emotion. So you're very well aware you're jealous. You feel like maybe you want to be married and have kids and have a husband.
There was also something she said about the fact that she seems content and she's not content with her own life. And her sister-in-law seems happy with where she is. So these are all, look, the truth, these are all internal problems. Yeah. These are not things to do with the girl. And I'm sure that you're not fine that. Don't whine yourself. So you just have to, first of all, you have to just chalk it up that, okay, she has made you feel a type of way. Yeah. And you need to sit down and explore why that is.
Also, like, I think there's something about feeling an emotion and feeling the need to feel. I don't
like
know.
indulgence.
You can, yes.
Yeah.
So you can feel jealous. You don't have to become a jealous person. Those are two very different
like
things.
you don't have to dwell in it and think. This one, I know that you've entered.
Yes, you're going on her Instagram and you're looking at things and you're asking your nephews questions.
Sometimes you need to stop yourself.
You need to stop yourself. But I do think what it also means is there's something in the zeitgeist at the moment where people are moving from being honest about their feelings to feeling stuck in like their current lives. And you have to be careful because there's something that people, society, social media can tell you that in a bid to make you feel better about yourself, they make an other out to be like a villain.
Yeah.
So there's something that slowly has become very commonplace where there's this idea that whatever you're seeing on social media is just a highlight, or looking for a story to instead of helping you deal with the actual emotions you're feeling. It's like looking for a story, a made-up story, a potential story that doesn't change your actual situation but downplays the other person's. And you don't want that. So let me be honest with you. I think jealousy is a normal emotion.
It is. You feel it all the time.
As a Christian, it's demonized, right? But this is what I mean. You can feel jealous. Just don't become a jealous person. And the difference between that is ruminating on it, right? Your sister is...
It's also allowing yourself to change the way like you approach the person in a way, or the way... There's nothing actually wrong with her.
Yeah.
It's just that you want the life she has. Yeah. And it's not for you to go and figure out how you're going to get the life she has. She has not done anything wrong.
Another thing I will not advise is a very fake thing that I've heard people who have never had to really grapple with the emotion advice. And it sounds lofty, but I've realized that it's actually not great advice because it doesn't deal with the actual problem. Where people will say, if you're jealous of someone, get close to them.
Don't get close to them. Please go away from her.
Have you heard this thing before? Yeah. Where they say you get to know them, blah, blah, blah.
I was about to suggest you block her on Instagram.
As you are getting closer to them, you start to love them. I feel like some of these things that I've heard it in a very churchy setting, and I've thought that this is not someone that understands emotional regulation. I think you need to be honest about what it is you want. So for instance, sometimes people get irritated. I'll give you an example. I hope the person doesn't listen to this episode, but I'll give you an example. Someone told me that she recognized that she was irritated by somebody. They recognized it was jealousy. But then what made her angry is that she thought she was above being jealous of it. So the person had, or was in essence, a really loving relationship. So it wasn't just that they had a healthy or a good relationship. Yeah. Her partner was very outwardly loving. And she knew her well enough to know that it's not a performance. Like the guy when Yoruba people say, oh man care, like he takes care of her in a specific way. Her relationship is healthy and nice, but her partner was not
like that, outwardly
loving. And she was embarrassed that she wanted that.
She was jealous of
specific thing. Where she wanted it to be that somebody was very outward, like,
you can see it.
You can see it. Yeah. And he's very like giddy about her and excited. And that's not something you can tell your partner to become or develop. You can't go and say, why aren't you...
You can't change who the person is.
Why aren't you like excited? Why aren't you... Why
don't you express love to me in a way that is not like you?
Good. And so it made her upset that she was not above feeling jealous of that type of thing, right? So there's not a lot of solutions for that.
There aren't. You actually, and the thing is, let me tell you, even this thing people say do not say a word.
No, I'm feeling jealous.
It's crazy.
That's crazy behavior.
For you to tell, because now you've put it on their head. They'll now be thinking, oh, should I now stop behaving? Please, you need to check it inside yourself. This is where you need to go into your closet, in your house. Go and sit down at home and unpack your feelings. It's not everything that you have to like
express.
Yeah. This is you see it and you know that, oh, this is coming from somewhere. Most of the time when you're jealous, you actually the most important thing is to find out where it's coming from. Yeah. And what do you want to do about it?
And what you want to do about it.
What do you want to do about it?
Outside of the person.
Yeah. Also putting the person in your face is actually not going to help you. I suggest that you meet your sister-in-law on Instagram for a while until you can regulate
how
yourself.
You're feeling, yeah. It's just other things, because when you sit down and you're like, oh, some of it sounds, and I don't mean to come off as very self-helpy, but some of it sounds, there's nothing that is not fixable. If you want to try, you can try becoming an influencer.
Like if
it's embarrassing, to try, but you have to try. Maybe you now realize I'm actually not good at it.
I don't want to know. Or
I don't want it.
If maybe it's the like general thing of, oh, she's really good at something.
Yeah.
Or people, then you get you have to get to the roots. Even this thing of, oh, they want their partner to be more outwardly loving. Now you're recognizing that, okay, there's actually something that maybe you didn't realize it was a desire you have. Now you have to explore it. You might not have it in that way, but you get to the roots of it. Is it that you're actually not happy, or your throat is too big? So this is when you now have to figure out like what exactly is going on. Let me tell you the other thing I really dislike, and I generally dislike this particular trope, is the other part of like, if you're jealous of people and you really get to see them, you see that they are not all that. Some people are actually all that, okay? Some people, this thing people say is just the highlight reel. No. Some people, the social media is actually the low lights reel because they can't show you. They can't even show. Some people are actually very happy, and you need to get over that as well. Like sometimes everyone gets jealous, and it is a case of checking your personal emotions is what I would say and suggest. That's just what's...
Oh, I have something.
Okay.
It's a little addish, but I like it. So this is from In Good Company. And it says, "Hey ladies, my mom and I recently started a podcast after listening to Jola talk about how much she wished she had the chance to sit with her granddad and capture conversation with them on camera," which is very, very true. It still upsets me till today. It sparked the idea for me to do the same with my mom and grandparents. And so after being shy for a whole year, we launched something recently. It's called the In Good Company podcast. Basically, they talk to older people about their lives and stuff like that. So thank you for being funny and relatable and inspiring. Even though you hate taking yourself seriously, we take you seriously and love watching you both. Your show has become a big part of our week, and we can't wait to see what you guys get up to in 2026. Love from Busola and Timmy from In Good Company. First of all, I love the idea of people doing things with their moms.
Yeah.
So I don't know who is Aunty, Busola or Timmy. But hi, Aunty, and hi, the other person.
Lovely,
congratulations.
lovely.
Welcome to the world of podcasting.
I hope it goes well.
Yes,
for you.
and that you get really old people have such exciting stories. Kemi has one auntie that's 3 times a lady. Hollywood Molly. I enjoy her so much.
I need to tell you something, because this woman has told us so many. She told us the other day about how she met Frank Sinatra. Oh, I said,
no, legit, she's not lying.
I said, the truth is that even Frank Sinatra, I'm sure he remembers you, because there was a guy that I was dating, like when I was like 20, and he came to, I don't even know why she was there, actually. When I look back, why was she in my house? He came, yes, and she was there on her own. No, my grandma was not there. She was there, and he just came in. Wow, you're so gorgeous that I don't know if this relationship can work.
Who said so?
She said to him.
To him?
Yeah, that you like women. She said, you're so gorgeous.
Okay, but she didn't like. I
don't know. It's Trisha, but she said, I don't know if this relationship can work, that you like women. I said, Ma, he said good afternoon. And that was the next thing she said after that. Hollywood Molly.
I love her.
This 3 times a lady, I want you to know that there's no events we've ever had that she has not performed.
She did not do it last time. That she was grieving, so she didn't.
Yeah.
But when I said 3 times, she said, she said, not today, my dear. I said, oh, sorry, Auntie. But Hollywood Molly, and she is a racket.
She said she met Frank Sinatra, that she went out when she was 20. I just thought...
Yeah, I love talking to... It's like, I remember one day I saw a picture of my granddad, and I was like, oh, this is a nice picture. My grandpa said, yeah, that's from when I was in Germany. I said, what?
When were you there?
I was like, when were you there? Do you understand? I'd be like, it was so jarring to me to realize that, oh shit, this person has had so many lives. Sometimes I'll ask, or my grandpa would try to, maybe he sees me stressed, and then he just give me an anecdote from his life, and I'll be like, oh, when did this happen? Also, for instance, he was very jovial. So I always tell people I get my sense of humor from my dad's side of the family. But he wasn't somebody that's super like in touch with his emotions. So I remember one time I was looking at albums in his house. I was bored. And we were just there, and it was a picture from my dad's 40th, and it was him and my dad. And I was like, oh, Grandpa, you look so happy here. And he goes, yes, I was so shocked. How did he say it? Basically, he was talking about how, watching your children become older is great, etc, etc. And then he stopped. Then I said, you know something, that he remembers the day he turned a year older than his own dad when his dad died. And he was so emotional that day that he never thought, he had that fear that he won't live longer than his dad did. And he was just, that he was just feeling so many things that day that, and now he also has seen one of his children. And I remember thinking, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you don't know what you don't know, and you always think you're the first to feel things. You flatten, because our parents and grandparents lived in such a hard time that sometimes it feels like they are not in touch with certain emotions. It's not true. They are. It would never occur to me that my granddad thought, oh shit, I'm older than my dad when he died. I've achieved something, like this is a big deal, right? So I don't know. I think,
you know what I found out the other day?
What?
Mama, she eloped.
Huh? What?
Think about the person that you know to be my grandmother and the fact that at 19, she ran away to marry a man.
What?
She told me the other day that, look, at the end of the day, it's because we're talking about like meeting somebody. She was now saying to me that, basically we're talking about someone who got engaged last year and their wedding is next year. And she was like, she doesn't understand.
That's long.
At our age, as in my age, she means 30.
That's crazy.
She meant 30 plus. She's like, what's this year and a half?
I don't believe.
I was now saying, destination wedding. She now said, anyway, once the story was becoming too much, we just eloped to Ghana and got married. I said, you said what? Ma? She was 19 and my grandpa was a good 13 years older than her. And she said once everybody was making too much of noise, she said, no problem. She's coming. She's coming. So by the time she came back and said, this is her husband, what could they do?
I wouldn't. Oh my gosh.
Meanwhile, her mother had 4 husbands. So when you look at the matter, her mom was telling the man at the time, the father, that, my dear, you are like husband number 1. I'm on 4. Better leave this girl. So everything is just very dynamic when you think, actually she had 5 husbands, but they don't mention one because she didn't have children for him.
Okay.
So they don't count him. And I just kept asking her. So she was just saying her mom would just leave one man, they'll pack all of them, plus his own children, to the next person's house.
To depart.
She had one house that whenever she left all these men, all of them would go back there.
Yeah.
Then she marries a new one, she pack everybody to their new house.
It's so interesting. I think.
So she was just saying to me that based on that, and she was like, honestly, it wasn't a big deal. She was just like, this seems long.
Yeah.
This discussion,
I don't have.
She was like, this discussion we're having, I'm going to marry him. The discussion we're having seems
redundant.
It seems complicated. Yeah. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to court. And then they just got married. And so they came back and were like, okay, now we can discuss what do you want
to do? What do you now want?
So they now did proper ceremony, church, all that. So, and I was just like, if I do that, you can kill me. She was like, no, really, you. But then I thought about it. My auntie also got married after a month. So there's a lot of issues in the family.
Yeah, talking to older people is really important.
It's really because you forget like the context that they have. There's 2.
Okay.
FK's Little Princess says, hi FK and Jola, welcome back from holidays. Now to my dilemma. I've been suspecting my mom for cheating on my dad for a while now. Women don't cheat. So.
Okay.
I found out she was acquainted to my friend's dad. In a platonic friendship.
Okay.
But recently it's been looking more than an ordinary friendship. I saw some really weird texts that they've been sending to each other that has made me feel uneasy. I lost my dad December last year, just 2 days to Christmas, and we are still grieving. I want to confront her about it, but I don't know if that's the best approach. Please help me. What do you think I should do? It's very important that you said the context of that. She also lost her husband. So I think we need to...
No. So was this...
Her husband, she's seen the text now. This message was on 3rd of February. She lost her dad last year. As in not upper December.
So not 2025 December, 2024 December. Okay.
And she's seen texts with her own friend's dad and her mom now.
Are we sure?
Yes.
Okay, so let me tell you what it is. I think, on the one hand, I think two things. I think the first
Or could it be last year?
Yeah, I
Does
think
she
it's-
mean this December?
Yeah,
Because that's really crazy.
because I think
I think both are insane, but
so. I think you are primarily angry.
actually, she wouldn't say cheating if it was.
If it was
a year ago.
that long ago. So I think it's very recent.
Ah.
So let me tell you what I think is that I think she had figured that her mom was cheating, and then her dad passed.
Yeah.
So I suspect that the anger of loss
Is making it worse.
is making it worse.
As it should.
So here's what I will advise. I don't think you should do anything or say anything yet. Wait for a little bit.
Why?
Wait to separate the emotions you are feeling. Because let me explain something. And I'm not saying this to be cruel. Please forgive me if you feel away. Your mom did not kill your dad, right? Your dad passed. And it feels almost, I don't know how to explain it. It feels like
It's almost more crushing because
more
he
crushing.
passed away and they are cheating on him.
cheating on him, right? But I think you need to deal with the loss you are feeling before you deal with the fact that your mom is not the person that you thought she was.
Yeah. So
And don't conflate the two.
I was going to say that I don't know that she can separate it.
That's I said that she should wait for now. Because it's fresh. December was like a couple of months.
How many weeks ago?
It wasn't that far away.
And yeah, for me, the main thing is that thing of you are realizing that your mom is she's your mom. She's your mom. Nobody wants to find out that their mom is capable of cheating on their dad. And it's sad to say that if it was the other way around, you will not be. You might be shocked, but it's not beyond
this thing of seeing your parents as fallible.
As people,
sometimes you hope that the most fallible you find out your parents are like. So I remember somebody that told me that she remembers realizing that her dad is like bad at his job. So he's the one in the office that people are irritated.
Oh my God.
And she was like, it was an interesting thing too. You know when everybody says, see your parents as a person, you always hope you're seeing them as a person in a way that makes them more endearing.
Yeah.
When you see them as a person and it's just like, what the hell kind of, what is this? But in this case, what I mean is that it can be difficult. There's a TikTok thing that I think you should go and look for of people realizing they were products of an affair.
Yeah.
It is jarring.
Very, very.
So I think in this instance,
I get what you're saying.
There is something about realizing it, but also because you have one parent. You have one parent left and you have to decide what kind of relationship you want to have with this person. I don't think it's your place to now feel like you have to bottle it up. You're holding things together for the family. No. But it's really important that you manage whatever reaction. Also, Nigerian parents, if you're Nigerian, sorry, I assume most of our listeners are Nigerian, unless they indicate otherwise, is our parents don't cope well with being confronted. And so what will happen is it will no longer be about what you're saying. It's the way, it's how.
It could be taken as an accusation
and affront. And so I just think if you are going to talk to your mom about anything, you need to think really, really carefully about what you want out of the interaction, what you're hoping to get. If you're someone that doesn't mind blowing shit up and you can live with that. For me, it's always what works for you. Do you have siblings? Is this something that could affect the family dynamic in a way that you are not ready to take responsibility for? So, for instance, inside Vex, I go and fight with Ikemi. The fight now does something that blows up our friendship group. I can't now start saying, I don't understand why. Because why did you sit down and think about it? You got everything now, right? In a bid to. Yeah. And maybe I was even right to be aggrieved.
Yeah, but now the consequences are more than what you can cope with.
Exactly. Right? So, yeah.
Now, the other side of it, I actually agree with what you're saying. But the other thing I was thinking about before you made this point was, the only thing I don't like about this, and I do think you're right, but what is making me kind of upset for her is that the burden to regulate
is on her.
I hate it. I'm 100%. Sorry. Because she's still your mother. She's still your mom. And two of you are grieving. Two of you have lost somebody. So I don't like that the burden of figuring it out is on her, which is the only reason why I would say, if it's me, I wouldn't confront aggressively, but I would ask, because I do not want that burden. Burden should be on you.
I think I 100% think she should ask. I'm just saying the reason why I think she should wait is in the heat of a non-urgent confrontation, you can you can go beyond what you meant to. So there's not. So for instance, it's not that your parents wanted to renew their vows, and your mom is saying like, sis, they want to do it in April.
He passed away.
He passed, and you're feeling this. And I'm just saying, in the heat of all that pain, that how many of you have had arguments with your parents where what you're now annoyed about is that if I just waited for 3 hours to calm down, I would have won this argument, because now the discussion we're having is not even what I said. It is that Lenwe in your life. Excuse me, did you or did you not eat what I left in the fridge? Ma, now talking about how I was carrying your breast for 9 months.
Before.
Oh,
sometimes when they say that, I say before. How long were you going to carry me before? Please, that's your word.
One time I was fighting with my mom. I come out and said, "Do you know you tore my bum? You stupid girl." Mom said, children are wicked.
You know, the other day I said to my mom, listen, because she was saying something all these 9 months. I said, you didn't even know you were pregnant with me till 5 months in, my sister. So when we look at the issue closely, and you told everybody that on my birthday.
But fake me is actually 100% right. It's not your place to carry it.
So my challenge with this thing...
Maybe I changed my mind. Let me not lie.
I think you have to say something. You know why? Because the burden of this thing is too heavy. It's too much. Because you're grieving one parent. You can't grieve the two of them. And that's what's happening, because you're like, so my mommy is a fraud. Number one. Yeah. Number two, now this man has died. So you'll be seeing her crying and you'll be thinking, I see. Look at this one.
Yeah, right.
You didn't even love him. Meanwhile, look at this crocodile tears. So I think I don't like that the burden is on her.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what people think generally about. I think we should post this one. I'm curious to see what everybody thinks about this one. I think she should say
something.
I think she has to say. Yeah, that's also
because you might find out
that's another angle.
So how I said that you be
another
ready.
Angle is that this conversation might lead to discovering one or two about your father. May he so rest. But the truth is better. Not always, but most times it's still better. You might find out the thing is with things like this, you might find out a lot more than you're bargaining for in the situation. And I think that I don't know what kind of relationship you have with your mom. You didn't say. So that's what doesn't give us enough context. But I honestly would ask, I would try, just like Jola is saying, not to attack on the issue. I would honestly just ask, especially because there is grief. If there was no grief, let me not lie, I would be on smoke. Serious smoke, because what's everybody doing here? The same way I would advise you to be on smoke if your dad was also there. But there's a cloud of grief which makes everything complicated. Or maybe I'm just saying that because it's your mom and not your dad. And I'm doing a biased thing where all of a sudden your mom is cheating your dad, and I'm so understanding. I know that in my mind she already has a reason. She could just be a philanderer. Okay, so just you kind of need to prepare yourself mentally for there not to be a good reason for this.
Or like to find out stuff.
Your daddy might not have done anything to her.
To find out stuff you weren't.
Yeah, to find out that this might be who your mom is also really somehow. I have one that I quite like. It says extra, read all about it. Okay. Just wondering what your takes on prenups are, whether they indicate distrust or not, whether people are opposed due to culture, particularly the Nigerian way of life, and even from a religious point of view. I don't have any fundamental issue with prenups.
Same.
But I understand feeling somehow that somebody presents one to you.
Yep.
I don't have any issue with it.
Yep.
I think if presented, there's no reason. Check the terms though.
Terms and
negotiate
conditions,
the terms very well, because if you put it on the table, then we're negotiating it. But I think that I would also feel very somehow if one was presented to me, whilst understanding that it does not mean that there is no trust in the matter.
You know what? I think there's something that comes with having just lots of different types of conversations and meeting different types of people. So it depends on different things, like what kind of family are they from?
Yeah.
What are we trying to protect? In Nigeria, where women's rights are not really protected as well, a prenup can also be protecting you.
Yeah.
And saying in the event of XYZ, this is what you're entitled to as well. So I think sometimes we think about it as only the person being
distrusting of you, but sometimes it might be for you.
It can be. So for instance, what if you know someone, what if the person in this instance is an older woman, has children, and her husband's wealth or assets, it may not even be many assets, it can be one small car, it doesn't matter, from her first marriage, it's important to her that those things are for her own children,
and not your joint
children or mixed in with. Do you understand? So I think sometimes you think about it from only the point of being the aggrieved party.
Yep.
The same way when we talk about jealousy, people only imagine being the one people are jealous of.
Sometimes you might want. So that's what I think. I think that it's just like insurance. It is a sensible instrument to have in your life, but it doesn't make it comfortable. It is a fundamentally uncomfortable thing to have, to be saying what happens in the event of usually things that go bad, the marriage breaking up, death, infidelity. But it's the same reason you get insurance, because sometimes it's just a smart thing to do. Having said that, it is somehow, but I still advise that if you are in a scenario that warrants it, there's nothing wrong. I don't think that is a sign that your partner does not trust you to have it. But I do fully recognize that even for me, as I'm using my logical brain to say that it is a sensible idea in some situations, it is still somehow, because you want to live in a world where, you don't have to say it. It doesn't have to be written down. There is implicit trust. At the same time, we also kind of live in a world where we've seen many, many things happen where when people are not protected, you never want to really be at the mercy of somebody's anger or upset. And prenups only come into play when marriages break up, which is often a nasty thing. No matter how cordial it is, it's not a nice situation to be in. So you kind of hope for it to never become relevant. But I don't personally my view on it is that for some people it's valid. I don't have any access to prenup. So I can never present you right now with any prenup, because is it all my jumpsuit that I don't want you to have? I don't have.
Yeah, I think.
But if I did, I would definitely consider it, and I would understand if somebody did it. It would still be somehow, like I said, but I would get it, and I would focus on negotiating. I know 2 people that have them.
Yeah, I know someone that had it, and for her, this was even before she met this husband. When we spoke about it, she hadn't even met.
And in one case, it's her that needs it. It's her family.
That was about
to say. It's her family that needed it.
Exactly. So she had like a trust, and there was just a lot of stuff involved. And I remember that was the first time I'd ever heard of, like, I never met somebody who true Nigerian family that they actually true need a trust. It's not just that your family is aware of where a trust is and your parents want to feel important. True, she needed a trust. And I remember I was talking to her about it, and she said one of the things she's anxious about, because she just ended a relationship, was meeting someone and having to broach that kind of conversation. And I asked her, like, oh, do you feel something? She said no, but she grew up with an awareness of this type of thing. So it wouldn't have meant much to her, but she can imagine that for some people it will be difficult. And I said,
so in one case, her family, like all their siblings have to have one. And on the other case, it was him him for his own personal assets, no family, that had the prenup. And in both situations, it was somehow, but like it was fine in the end. And the other party signed it. So, but they negotiated, which I think is the more interesting bit, that in both cases, they kind of had a back and forth, not in a antagonistic way, but just it now became something of, do you know what? Let's even discuss this.
Yeah.
That if this is going to also happen, you are very stupid. See what you want to give me. So all of that. So I don't know. Religious. Is there anything in the Bible?
They also say that you don't trust, if two become one, if you don't trust each other, blah, 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 blah.
My dear, I don't know. Look, at the same time, right, we are promised blessings in the Bible. Yet people, you still go to work, faith. So I just think that there's not necessarily a religious lens on it. I don't think it has anything to say. It's a smart financial instrument to have in this day and age in the life. So it'd be fun to marry someone who needs a prenup.
Yes.
Shows that you have something.
Yeah. Okay. Final one is from somebody called Lala, who says, "Hi everyone, I love your page. It really keeps me going. I've always been a very happy soul who really likes helping others. I've been married for 9 years, but things have been very difficult lately. My husband lost his job 5 years ago, and I have been the sole provider ever since. Whenever our children's school fees are due, he He insists I transfer money to his account so he can make the payment himself. And I really didn't see a problem with this until last term. A family I clean for offered to pay my children's fees as a token of appreciation. And I sent them the school's direct account information. When my husband found out, he was so livid, he almost hit me. He demanded to know why I didn't give them his personal account info instead and worried about how the school would perceive him. When his mother visited, he belittled me in front of her, asking what I've ever really done for him and mocking my job, saying, how much does she really make cleaning up after others? I'm heartbroken. Everything I earn goes to our family, and I haven't bought anything for myself in years, and I'm struggling with loans, yet he treats me this way. I feel so much resentment. Am I overthinking, or is this mistreatment as wrong as it seems?
I'm so sorry. That's very cruel and wicked. You're not overthinking it at all. In fact, the fact that you're overthinking it just shows how much of a number he has done, because he lost his job 5 years ago. And you have been carrying
the family.
The weight. For him to even be saying you're cleaning up after others, is you're cleaning up after others.
I didn't actually want to read. She said, how much does she really make cleaning toilets? So I just didn't really want to read that.
I'm sorry, that's awful.
Yeah.
That's actually awful. That's just, it is cruel and wicked. And I don't like, this thing is like what we're saying about this jealousy, where what is doing you is one thing. You've now decided to carry it and put it on somebody because he's ashamed. And in his shame, he has decided to be cruel and wicked to the only person that is actually keeping things moving. Because what is the dance of, I'm sending you money to pay the school fees? It's so that you can keep up the appearance. Now, somebody else is even paying the school fees for us. You're not even happy. You're telling me how much is it I make. If I refuse to share it with you, it will be another problem. So, I don't know. I just think it's very, very, very cruel and wicked.
I think...
and I don't know what you can do about that.
I think for a long time, society has treated men's pride with such importance, right? That... sometimes when that's actually the only thing they have, they don't actually have anything, but they have their pride. They hold on to it and turn it to a weapon.
Yeah.
So he hasn't worked for 5 years. You didn't mention that he does like other stuff, like in terms of child rearing, but let's imagine he does. But what's most important to him is the ability to provide.
Yeah, and the appearance that he's the one providing.
Of provision. And because you've indulged for so long, and you've turned your own actual provision to helping, which is a conversation I think would be fun to have one day. How women talk about when they provide, it's help.
Yeah.
But when a man provides. So for instance,
provision.
She's helping, right?
She's paying the fees. She's the one doing the providing.
She's the one doing the providing.
But she's helping the family.
But she has masked it as helping. And over time, it has now become his
He has become entitled to it.
He has become entitled to it. And this is a thing. It's a weird thing in the fact that your family is entitled to your contribution. That's the truth. But your partner is not entitled to being able to subsume your work as theirs, right? It's not right for me. It's like in any family, your older siblings can't claim, let's say your parents told you to clean the room and you cleaned the toilet and your older brother laid the bed and swept the room. He doesn't get to say he cleaned the toilet as well, right? Maybe he oversaw everything. That's fantastic. He came up with the plan or whatever and said, oh, you clean the toilet. That's not the same thing as cleaning the toilet.
Yeah.
Right? So I think it's very important that you acknowledge the fact that, it's not that you feel somehow. You are treated badly.
You are treated very badly.
So for instance, when you can say, oh, Jola, you look nice. And I can feel that she said it in a throwaway manner. That's different. Because she said I look nice. He didn't make you feel somehow. He did something wrong. Yeah. He did something wrong.
Like you're not imagining it.
You're not imagining it. And this is what he's doing is actually, there's a word for it, it's called financial abuse. There's a phrase for it. This is financial abuse, right? Someone takes your money, or things you're entitled to, belittles, abuses, he's insulting you in front of his mother, he's verbally abusing you, he threatened you with physical violence.
To the point where you even question
so
if it's wrong.
That's not okay. And I think this happens to a lot of Nigerian women that I know of in these situations are embittered. I don't like that word because they're also, that work is not acknowledged.
Yeah.
The acknowledgement is it coming from you. That's just the truth. he took what you worked for, and you've been fine. And that's the odd thing. You've actually been fine with it up until this point, right? You're trying. It's a show of good faith. Someone wants to help you out, and you want to show them that, oh, I'm not lying, or I'm not trying to be funny.
You did the right thing. You did the right thing.
Someone wants to help you.
Someone wants to pay your children's school fees. You send them the school's account. It is the right thing.
It's the right thing to do. But I feel so sad that your accomplishment, which is taking care of your children, has been so, diminished and
like
belittled.
Rubbish. And then you have the threat of physical violence on top of it. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, on top of the family.
And there's a rash way, I would say, look, stop sending it to him, but you are in a dicey position.
But I think you also just need to be a lot more aware of the situation that you're in and take steps at self-protection.
That's what I think you have to do.
What I mean by that is, it also means if you're realizing that what you thought was teamwork is actually one person preserving his ego.
You need to start putting things to the side.
We're not guaranteed his behavior will get better or will change, or he won't throw you to the side, or he won't get annoyed once he starts making money or gets a new job. So I think you just need to be a bit more aware of your partner's character and personality. I don't know if you said to him, I don't appreciate the way you spoke to me. I don't know why.
I don't know if you've also ever addressed that. Do you realize that I have been doing this? I've been doing this,
and I've never ever disrespected you
in this.
I've been very cognizant of the fact that we're going through a hard time, and I've stepped up to do what I can for the family. And you're insulting me privately and publicly. You've never acknowledged the work I'm putting in. This is deeply. You're making me ashamed of what I'm doing to take care of our family. You are not above cleaning toilets, by the way. Nobody is. He doesn't have a job. He should go and look for toilets to clean as well, right? But I think you're in danger of having your self-esteem really being broken down from the way you're speaking. And I think you kind of need to start thinking, of how you, like, in very little ways can protect and stand up for yourself without being in a dangerous situation. Sorry, that's really upsetting. Really sad. Very, very annoying.
The wicked individual.
He is
wicked.
I don't know. I'm so. It's amazed.
Crazy to me that people just, you're in a relationship, you get married, and then something happens. He lost his job, and you become a wicked. It's just, I find things like this where, and it's what you're saying about the pride of men, where it becomes, and then people will be telling you no, but it's so hard for a man not to have a job. I'm sorry, it's been 5 years also. Like, she's not playing. She's actually stepped up. So the actual least you can do is not be a twat.
Yeah.
It's not that kinikbele.
I was going to bring up something, but I actually completely skipped my mind.
It's actually quite difficult. Sorry, love.
Yeah. Again, I know we say this all the time, but people asking us for, like, marital advice.
It's very interesting because, like, a lot of times I don't even know where I'm pulling from.
I have to, and then I also have to be more rational because my instinct is never like a good thing.
My instinct is always to be like, do not send that man money again. But then you put it in a practical situation where this is somebody that almost beats you for paying school fees. So I don't want you to be in a further messed up situation. Clearly, he's sorting in front of his mom. It's clear that she did not say anything. So I already can imagine the type of situation you are in. And so it's not one where gra is going to be your solution, which is always what I want to see.
Yeah.
Because our safety nets are different. So I don't know. But it's very interesting when people bring up things like this. But you're not making things up. What he did was very, very, very cruel.
I saw something interesting on Twitter. So this babe was talking about her, and she was saying it like in a haha way. So she was doing her master's. She had finished her master's, and at her graduation ceremony, her father-in-law asked if her surname has changed. And she was like, oh no, she hadn't changed her surname yet. But she had changed her surname. And so they called her, she got her degree with her married name. And she was like, and obviously her father-in-law hears the surname and is pretty chuffed. But at a time when it was kind of tough, he was like, why are you stressing yourself over all this, blah, 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 blah. And so it was like a funny little story. But it then reminded me of why some people are just really militant about their names, right?
Yeah.
Because the achievement started with one name and ended with another one, right? And so And if you think about the way Nigerians are, you hear stuff like in our family we have doctors, we have X number of doctors, X numbers of master's degrees and stuff like that. And so it reminded me of why people are really adamant about names and the glory that's attached to a name and the legend or the status attached to a name and why it means something. Right?
I think people are, people take it for granted, this thing of, oh, will you change your name? And I'm like,
it's my name though.
I would have built a lot on my name. And so a lot of times I'm like, I cannot imagine.
Yeah, I think about it quite often.
For me, I'm like, it's actually not realistic.
For me, even if you don't think of it as building a name, what I do find fundamentally interesting is the idea that a woman's name is not actually her own, it's her father's name.
Yeah, I'm like, no, it's actually my name.
Nobody says my brother's name is his father's name. It's his name.
My name.
But the idea somehow is that my name is like this temporary thing I have until some other man finds me worthy of giving his own name. And I have another name. And I should have no emotional attachment.
Yeah. So someone was saying that, but like if it's just a name, then and what I was saying was, why do you so he was saying sometimes he doesn't understand why it's so deep for people. And I was like, because you're never going to be in a situation where you have to decide if you change your name or not. Yeah. And I'm like, that's why it's not deep for you, because you're never going to be in a situation where you have to make the choice. And yet, every woman, it is assumed that you will just change your name. But there are many reasons for you to not change the name. It just, everybody should choose whatever they want. But I don't think it is that somehow for people to not change their names. Like, I think everyone kind of needs to relax a little bit on those points. I saw one thing in the dilemmas that they said, have I seen that my twin, and this is the second person that's saying it to me, that I have a twin on TikTok who slept with an inmate and is pregnant. Who is the person?
Some random babe.
Yes.
And then the fantastic thing she said.
Someone said there's a babe that kind of looks like you that's telling a story on TikTok about how she met, and the first time she went to visit an inmate that she met on social media, and then she's not pregnant for the person who is in prison. I said, please, you people should be careful with the words you're using. She does not look like me. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what this story is, but it sounds... The question I just have, how do you meet somebody in prison on TikTok, then you go and visit them and also sleep with them?
Conjugal visit.
No, so I know the girlfriend. What I'm just saying is, let's think about the number of events that had to happen.
I think people don't really realize how lonely people and how low a lot of people's self-esteem is.
Your next best alternative.
Fake TikTok is such a resource.
It's a criminal.
When you watch TikTok, you see women who have boyfriends in jail and they do get ready with me to go and visit my man, blah, 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 blah. They show you how they get ready for a conjugal.
No, it's different if you were dating the boy, then he went to jail.
No, that's what I'm telling you.
But like you met him inside the jail. I am
telling you.
As in from the jail cell.
Yes.
He DM'd you.
Yes.
That, hey, I'm in jail.
Yeah.
And what you thought was, this is ineligible.
You can remember before there was DMA, people were writing letters.
It's true, there was pen pal.
Yeah. So there is that. I mean, yeah, weird shit. Anyway, this has been a nice long first episode. What are we getting up to this year? What are you looking forward to this year?
A lot
on the podcast. Like,
oh, you mean on the podcast? Yeah. Great. Okay.
We can do both.
No. Let's start with the podcast. I think we will have a lot more events. I hope you guys are coming to the karaoke.
Yeah, that's exciting.
On the 15th.
Yeah.
We'll find out if you did Valentine's or not. It's on Sunday. I want you guys to know that you're encroaching on our Sunday hangout. So feel very happy.
Honestly.
That we're going to be there with you, because ordinarily I should be playing somewhere.
Exactly. We're now trying to convince them to come, and they're like...
They're like, please, you guys are always forcing us to do all these nonsense events. But I think the karaoke is going to be quite fun.
I'm looking for a touch of red outfit.
The outfit I'm wearing is all red.
I'm now looking for a touch of red.
It's all red already. Wow. So, what am I looking forward to? Yeah, I think we'll have a lot more events. I'm hoping for many more interesting guests, like interesting and random guests. And what else? Yeah, I think it's quite exciting.
Yeah,
I think the tour will be bigger, which is exciting. We'll go to more places. Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be quite interesting. Looking forward to seeing how the season plays out. Yeah,
I think we're going to have a lot more fun.
I think so. I think there'll be a lot more fun. We have a paywall coming up.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a VVIP.
Yeah, that's what I said. Plus.
I said what I said. Plus. Max, Pro Max.
Yeah.
Is what it is. Nothing is going to change about the normal podcast. If you're we're not keeping anything behind, but for a little bit extra, you will get a little bit extra. So behind this paywall will be a lot more unhinged activity. Random.
All the things that we make them
all
cut
the
out.
things, that were like, actually, no, we can't discuss. That's where we'll discuss it inside the house, behind,
inside the compound.
Inside the compound. So we'll release that soon. If you want to be inside the compound, you can join us there. If not, normal, we'll still have our episode every week. Nothing will change.
Nothing changes.
It's just there'll be inside gists inside the compound. So I look forward to that.
100%.
What else? I don't know. I think we'll have a lot more fun.
Yeah, we will. Okay, you personally, what are you looking forward to this year that you can share? Hey, Gabby, please.
I don't know, honestly. I think I'm gonna start something new this year. That should be interesting. Look, I'm actually just hoping that the year is not awful. Do you know what I mean? Like, I need ease for like a sustained period of time, and that's really what I'm looking forward to. Let's see. Who knows? Honestly, I'm not putting that much out anymore because I'm just like, well, let's be moving JJ. Let's see how it goes. Who knows? What about you?
I just want to, I find a lot of, and I please don't come and give me your facetious surface level encouragement, because you know how people will hear you say you want something and then start giving you advice that you didn't ask for. I've recognized that I get a lot of internal security from financial security.
Yeah, I need to make a lot of money.
So I'm now moving in accordance with that. I think one of the hard things about working in media is you do a lot of things for the passion, for the love of it. And then you're kind of like,
where is the
this
money?
Wasn't smart. Especially when other people then make money on top of it. You're like, how could I do such a mistake?
Yeah.
So there is that. And like you said, the tour, bigger tour.
Yeah.
Merchandise, just fun stuff.
Yeah.
But then also, like, I'm really excited about the paywall because that's where we can bring our friends and be a bit more unhinged and then be less misunderstood.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Being less misunderstood when you see your mind. Now,
Guys, it's kind of exhausting.
People don't ascribe malice to your thought process.
Yeah.
That would be nice. And just also like tweaking different versions of content and different things you want to do.
Yeah, just trying.
I want to travel
new
more.
stuff. I do. I really want to travel more, but that's why I need to make a lot of money. I really like this
more.
year. I really need to like, you know what? Let me tell you what I actually want. I want to have like a change in lifestyle. Like just like a shift. And the money that is required for that is a lot.
Yeah.
And this is the challenge I'm having. Like, I actually just need to move brackets. You know this tax thing they're doing? I need to move up into a further bracket. So, yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to having a good time this year.
Yeah,
I think it's not mutually, they're not mutually exclusive, like having a good time and working hard.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're an adult, you start to pretend, you start to act like, oh, life is serious, like this is a serious life we're living, please.
I think honestly, whimsy is so important.
Yep.
It's very, very, very essential. You just kind of have to balance it out. I also want to experience a lot more new things. Like, I just want to just be having the same experiences all the time. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll elope.
Okay, that you can do that. I actually have no.
Yeah,
I think that's the least surprising thing you said.
Yeah, I think I could elope. I think I might elope this year. That could be fun. I'll let you guys know when I come back.
Do that
from the elope. I'll just come back one day, guys. I have a husband.
But IFK.
This is him.
All right, guys. This has been very fun. Happy. Oh yeah, David will be overjoyed. He was so he even looked up. I haven't seen him look that serious since we started recording.
He's looking at me with eyes that tell me that he thinks I'm not a serious person. But I could elope, David. I actually could. I could surprise you with the marriage.
All right, guys. This has been fabulous. We've missed you. We hope you've missed us too.
And look forward to more. Let's see what happens. I want to ask, maybe you guys should let us know what you're looking for. But you always say things. You always say this is next 2 minutes now. You've seen there. Oh, you should have Beyonce. Of course, but why not?
Why not?
Why not? Why not also the Pope? Why not? Do you get you guys just say so many things, and I just think of, surely we'll have all of them. Yeah. So don't worry yourself. But yeah, I think it should be interesting.
See you guys. See you guys next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Rolling.
How do I start saying it? Oh,
This episode of I Said What I Said.
okay, yes.
This episode of I Said What I Said is brought to you by Carousel Network. We are your host, Feikemi FK Abudu and Jola Jules Ayeye. Our producer is Debbie Romeo. Our production associate is Theresa Ajayi. Our social media manager is Najite Anira. Our cinematographer is Divine Nabuko. Our audio engineer is David Kenny. And our camera assistant is Abolade Oluyede. This episode today was not sponsored by anybody but Jola and FK and our fabulous gums by Desiree Iyama.